Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you the news. So, as I told you guys before, yesterday during a live stream, that I was going to do my best to bring you guys a follow-up, which is another live stream or short form content, whichever, or a combination of both, specifically detailing and dealing with the story. More information and news has come directly out. So, we're going to cover what it is that Brandon Johnson stated directly about the situation that happened in Chicago with the students. We're going to look at other individuals amongst the community, their reaction, how it is that they specifically feel about, um, everything that took place. More words directly from the mother as well. And as you can clearly see directly in front of me, and this is something that I wanted to bring up before I'm moving on to the real topic. At this moment in time, you have some conservative Republicans, white folks out there that want to throw their hat into a situation that has nothing to do with them. This situation has realistically nothing to do with white folks. There are no white faces directly in this, but yet you have them online trying to position themselves within the conversation so that they can pull energy from it. And the reason that this person's name is blocked directly out is because you ain't about to really get nothing, off of my way. If people happen to find them, and they want to have that conversation with them on this platform, then you can go out there and do that. But you're not going to do that by way of me, in a sense. So again, this is why a lot of names just so happen to be blocked out. But if you pay very close attention, it says that this person is a January 6er. So you shouldn't be shocked. You should not be surprised. And again, this is what I talk about a lot of times on this platform. When it is that black people are having a conversation, you have those out there that are not even a part of the conversation, nowhere in the frame working, and they decide that they still want to have an opinion. They still want to speak on, they still want to be around the topic and the energy, and there's no reason for you to even be here. Like I said, for a lot of white folks out here, mind your business. And like he wanted to try to position himself and say like, oh, well, show other people this to let them know why it is that I don't want to sit up there and live in a black neighborhood. Well, I could say the same thing in reverse because you got some of your greatest idols out there in white states, white neighborhoods, and people tend to lose their lives. That's wild, and there was not a black in sight, right? As you guys like to say, but for whatever reason, you guys don't want to keep talking about this situation and how much that's a problem and how it is that you should protect your people in your community from yourselves. Okay, you got it. Crazy work. Crazy work. All right. So, okay, so this video right here. Wait, hold on. Let me say something. So, now what we're going to do is we're going to go to this clip right here, and I want to specifically state this to the black community here, right? And more so specifically to any black women listening. This brother right here is brother Tyrone Muhammad. I've talked about him throughout the years, a variety of times. He is the main black man that pulled up in Chicago. This guy, he has served some time before. He came out and he wanted to do better directly for the community, and that's specifically what he stated before, right? So again, he served his time. He came out and he was like, you know what? I messed up in the past. Let me, as the man that I am now, right? Let me do a little bit of correction or the corrections that I can in order to help my community and the people that I hurt, right? So he is now an advocate against gun violence, against gangs, and against crime in general that takes place within the community. And he is doing what he can as the man that he is in order to correct a lot of those things, call those things out, bring awareness and attention, and formulate movements, when it deals with those things. So, brother Tyrone Muhammad, at the point in time about 3 to 4 years ago, when a black woman and her daughter were having issues, being assaulted, right, being in a sense captured for all intents and purposes inside of a beauty salon, he came through and he was like, you know what? If ain't nobody else going to pull up to the scene and show support for the mother and her daughter, I'm going to do it. He went into that beauty salon of which black women primarily and are the only ones that patronize that place. He told them, hey, this is what happened, X, Y, and Z. This is what happened to a black mother and daughter. I'm here to basically send a message directly to the Asian salon owners here and everywhere else around Chicago that we're not going to stand for this. I, as a black man, I am not going to stand for this. So you black women here, you got until the count of 5 or the count of 10 to get out of here, because bricks and cinder blocks are going to start flying through these windows to send this message. The black women there sat up there and looked, basically scoffed, went back to getting their nails done. 5, 4, 3, 2, and he started sending bricks directly through the windows. And the black women there was, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing this. Like, what's wrong with him? Still trying to get their nails done. After a viral video was already shown to the world about how those Asian salon owners were treating the black mother and that daughter. So after that took place and happened, and it was recorded, Brother Tyrone made sure to sit up there and record it. He sat there and waited for police, and he also had a note of things that he wanted to sit up there and state during the time of his arrest. He sat there peacefully, quietly, waited for the police. He gave his account of specifically what happened. He told the 100% honest truth. There was no lies directly within any of the statements that he made. And that man basically gave up his life and his freedom in order to send a point to the community, not only the Asian community, but also to the black community, that, hey, we got black men out here that will stand up and speak for black women, right? And we will sit up there and shut these things down. And kid you not, days after Brother Tyrone Muhammad was released from jail, you still saw black women trying to patronize and go up to that boarded nail salon. So I said all of this to basically state that you're going to see, in a sense, the exact same thing happen here, where Brother Tyrone is trying to speak to the women. He's trying to speak to the very same women, and he's going to end up getting resistance. So let's take a look.
No, it's bigger than the school system. It's our community. I'm telling you, as black men.
Private schools control their kids. Public schools should be able to control their kids.
Sister, all I'm saying is, when you see a black man taking responsibility for the bullshit that's happening to our community, y'all gotta learn to stand down. Y'all gotta stop it. It's not a war between us. It's not a war. Let that. So with that, hey, what you doing? What you on?
It's the way you can. It's the way you can.
No, it ain't. No, it's not, sister. Yeah, everybody wrong. We dealing with this. But we here. They not here. We here with you. We here. Who you fighting? Okay, then let me finish.
I'm fighting for what's right, my brother. I'm a true white man, and I'm going to tell you. I'm going to fight for what's right. Them straight watched that lady get jumped on and they didn't do nothing.
Because they know me.
You're not gonna
I'm done. I'm good. Y'all deal with her. We here.
Now, we were able to hear that, right? We heard specifically what took place and what happened. We know the fact that Brother Tyrone is sitting there. I actually got to go back and get a previous clip, because for whatever reason it did not fully show through for you guys. So my apology directly for that. But you saw and was able to hear Brother Tyrone Muhammad speak specifically to the women there, and it was all of this fight back. You saw the women wanted, no, it's what you said, brother. It's how you sat up there and said it, this, that, and the third, and all these other. I'm like, y'all gotta really learn how to relax. Like I said, I'm not sure how else to specifically say things. You got a man there that's representing men, and that's trying to show you like, hey, we are here. We do care. We do understand. We see and understand, what's going on directly out here. And he's trying to point you to the direction like, hey, it's bigger than a lot of these things that you specifically think that it is. It's like we out here crying, and then you got the school system making billions of dollars directly off of situations, the kids, and all these other types of things, and whatnot or whatever. He's simply saying like, yo, stand down, allow the men, as him being a representative, allow me to basically take the lead directly on this, just like he has shown in his actions before. And you got the resistance out there. And I'm like, this don't make no. This is why I try to sit up there and tell people at the end of the day, if you want to try to do the best for people, it's almost nigh impossible, because you have a lot of folks out here that have been taught and told that they don't really need nobody to lead them. They don't need nobody to protect them, nobody to shelter them. They can just do what it is that they need to sit up there and do without being dependent on somebody else. But when it comes to a lot of these situations, you have folks pull up to the scene talking about that they want men or whoever to come through and to start speaking up about the situations, to start really getting stuff done. Right? Let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to roll through. I'm not sure why this one is not fully coming through, but there was a woman directly in the background that was talking during the time, and she wanted to specifically have an argument. I'm trying to see if I can get her picture real quick. Let me see if I can roll that back. Hold on.
Right, my brother. I'm a true love man.
Because I'm trying to get the other footage. Let me roll past this a little bit. Where is she at? The lady that's in the gray or the white shirt, she was one of the most vocal ones when it dealt with brother Tyrone Muhammad. And again, it didn't even make any type of sense. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. What we're going to do is that we're going to go and cut to while I get the other clip, we're going to cut directly to the news section and see what the mayor had to state and what they put directly about this on the news.
Mayor Brandon Johnson is frustrated after.
Also want to note, just in case your TV or whatever is not broken, you're seeing this image here because, I had to do my best to basically blur or to block out the fight, the assault that specifically happened, because YouTube acts a little bit funny with certain things. So whenever you see this, that's because they're showing what happened directly in the video. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. So let me let this play.
Appalling. Mayor Brandon Johnson is frustrated after watching this viral social media video. It's caught the attention of those out of state. A Chicago mom, 33-year-old Corshonda Hatter, and her 2 children were attacked by students in the South Deering neighborhood near Orville Bright School.
We want to make sure that those individuals who are involved in this brutal attack, that there's accountability. But there's also something very disturbing about children carrying out such a violent act. There's clearly a need for some intervention there as well.
It was here Monday afternoon near 106th and South Bensley. A normal walk from home turned chaotic. At one point, Hatter and her kid ended up on the ground.
They were literally waiting the way we walk home just to jump all of us.
So now we waiting.
Just to jump all of us. So I asked my kids to come to the next side of the street with me. So they wouldn't get jumped. So we kept walking. They followed us all the way there, and then they still fought us. They fought my son. They hit my son first, all in his face. Then they dragged me in the grass and pulled my little baby hair.
Hatter and relatives met with school administrators and city leaders Tuesday morning. CBS says they are working with city departments and agencies to provide support to Hatter and her children. But many parents and community members say bullying seems to be an ongoing issue in the community, and the help that's needed is crucial.
It's been an ongoing thing in this community, and the parents don't take accountability for nothing their kids do. If my kids was out here being messy, I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna let it be known. Bro, I wanted to come up here. That's my neighbor.
A large group of parents and residents gathered outside the school Tuesday morning to support this mother who accuses Chicago Public Schools of ignoring a pattern of alleged bullying by the students involved that expands beyond her own family. Carolyn Sanford says some of the same kids also attacked her son.
That's how they did him, but it was more than them. It wasn't just the little girls. It was the little girls, all the same little girls, and most of the boys that was there.
Chicago Public Schools saying in part, "We are horrified by the attack on this family, and we are working collaboratively with city departments and agencies to provide support to the victims of the attack."
Nobody kids be fighting a grown-up at all.
It's very awful, and like I said, should no parent have to go through that? Like, should nobody have to go through that? Should no kid have to go through that? And I know they're going to be traumatized.
Of course, we want to make sure that those individuals who are involved in this brutal attack, that there's accountability. But there's also something very disturbing about children carrying out such a violent act. There's clearly a need for some intervention there as well.
So we heard that, right? So we know, if people pay very close attention, this is not the first time. There was a parent directly in there that stated that this is not the first time that something like this has happened. And I also just recently found other video of these kids, but this time it was the males going out there and attacking another male for whatever reason that they decided to do it. And they were doing it directly in groups, the exact same way that we saw in the viral incident, the viral video, where the mother was walking with her two kids, right? And the mother even stated herself within the interview that she saw the kids, she understood what was going on, what was happening. And she was like, okay, well, what we're going to do is, they're obviously walking here and they're behind us, no problem. We're going to sit up there and cross the street and then continue to walk home. Those kids still decided to follow the mother and the kids. So again, they had a plan set out to do this. I'm not trying to hear the apologies, and we're going to get directly into a lot of those clips that I have of at least 1 to 2, in a sense, of those parents that decided that, oh, let me go on social media and let me start saying this and saying that. At this point in time, you don't really need to be saying that. You need to be going directly to the police, all of y'all. And I said this before, I'm not trying to hear apologies. I want prison sentences. That's what I want, because that's going to send a message to a lot of other folks out there, and especially to the parents, that, hey, if your kids start acting a fool and start acting up, you're going to be made responsible. I've been saying this for the longest time possible, and I've received a lot of negative feedback where people are like, no, you can't blame the parents for kids' decisions. Yes, you can, because those kids are underneath your house. They're underneath your roof. You are raising them. You are teaching them. You're talking to them. You're having dinner with them whenever you have dinner, right? They're not living with nobody else. They're living with you. So as a parent, as the guardian, you are responsible. Don't 100% try to be like, oh, yeah, it's the school system. Nah, brother. We're not doing that. We're not about to allow you to sit up there and scapegoat, because the school system really wouldn't have anything to worry about, in a sense, if you were actually raising your kids properly. If your kids were actually raised with common sense, with logic, instead of instilling and putting emotions directly in them, chaotic energies. Those kids in a pack, in groups, decided that they wanted to sit up there and stalk, pray, and go after a mother and her two kids. And people out here talking about, just primarily talking about the school system. What are we doing? This is why things don't get fixed, because the source of everything comes directly from the home. Why is it that people don't want to focus in on that? That's wild to me. I'm highly confused. It's like the moment in time that you start telling people like, everything that we're talking about is coming directly, it's coming from the home. Things got to get fixed. We got to do this. We got to do that. The moment in time that you start really focusing in on that, people start tuning out. People start scapegoating. People start saying, oh no, actually, the real thing is, it's the fathers, right? The ones that's not there, right? The ones that quote unquote don't even exist. Right. So now that the video is uploaded, I gotta download this real quick because this is going to be the continuation from the previous video dealing with brother Tyrone Muhammad. It's going to, take me a few seconds to download. But again, the main thing that I tried to, I guess you could say, explain or instill directly into people is that home is where the heart is, right? Your kids will act in whatever way that they are taught, whatever way that they are led specifically from their home, from their environment. But when it comes to a lot of kids out there, and I've covered this before, a lot of parents don't want to be responsible. They'll be like, well, I tried my best. I did what it is. What are you talking about? Your child is 8. What are you talking about? You tried your best. You did what it is that you. What are you talking about? You can't sit up there and decide to procreate and create a child and be like, I give up this early. You didn't even really start the race. You didn't even really start running. The kid is 8, 9, 10, 11, and you're like, I'm throwing my hands up. Jesus, take the wheel. That don't make no sense. And this is why I said in the previous live stream that it is complete madness for people that are not ready mentally, even as an adult, right, to decide that they want to procreate with another chaotic adult and create a child, which is more chaos. And because you're not responsible, now you're going to make the community responsible for your mistake. And I know that some people are going to be like, yo, man, you shouldn't really call children a mistake. Nah, it's like when it deals with situations like this, yeah, those kids are mistakes. I'm just going to be real. I'm just going to be honest. Just like those parents are a mistake. It's a whole mistake situation. Bloodlines are, you looking at failed bloodlines all around. Failed bloodlines all around. This is why, people would always sit up there and say certain people should not have kids. Certain people shouldn't be procreating. And you're looking at some of the most chaotic people, some of the most emotional people out here deciding that they want to go out here and procreate. And now all the responsibility of their creations, right, of things that they brought into this world, now it falls onto the community to basically fix those things, right? So now we're going to look directly at the continuation of what brother Tyrone Muhammad had to deal with while he was trying to speak to the women that were there.
They want to fight, and that ain't going. You're broke and fighting. They getting billions of dollars to non-citizens while we out here crying.
This ain't about no woman, ain't about no man. This ain't about no woman standing down or nothing. If we ain't out here fighting for these kids, who else? Half of these men on the corner drinking 40 ounces, grabbing their balls. But they want us to stand down when it happen. No, we gonna show up and show out. We gonna show up and show out. This ain't about no man or no woman standing down. That was the wrong words to use, brother. You supposed to be coming with a prayer. You talking about some women stand down. Hell no, we ain't standing down. Yeah, hell no, we ain't standing down. Y'all men want us to stand down. Y'all need to stand up. Where they fathers at? Go find their fathers. Preach that shit to their fathers. Go find that shit. Preach that shit to their fathers. There's a lot of black women out here struggling, raising these goddamn kids, and the fathers with the next raising the next kids. So this ain't about no, all the women gotta stand down, my put our foots on these motherfuckers' necks. What's they? We got our ass whooped. We got our ass whooped, and I ain't never jumped on no elbow day in my life. You gotta whoop that ass. Y'all, these women scared to lose their low income. They scared to lose their food stamps. If your kids is bad, my mama put me in a hot grove, Jackson Park, and everything. You want to be out there with them GDs? Go ahead. I was big GD crazy. Still big GD crazy. But I bet you my kids ain't out here whooping on no motherfucking elder folks. I'll put my foot in their motherfucking neck. Them kids need that ass whooped. All of them boys, this is my best friend that just passed. All of them boys whooping on a grown lady. No, it's too many women out here. There ain't enough men out here. So us women, that little girl, it ain't enough men out here. It ain't enough men out here to say us women gotta stand down. That's crazy. This ain't about no man or woman thing.
They was throwing bikes at my window.
Yeah.
They tore my backyard up. I was gonna go up there killing my husband, stop me. The same kids out in bed when they was hungry. The same kids out in bed when they was hungry. Trying to destroy my crib.
Come on, let's say the prayer.
Them kids need Jesus.
But you know I'm still built to ass.
That's right.
We can pray.
What's your name?
We can pray.
First lady. We complain, but this ain't about no men and women.
Yeah, we all stand
Gotta
together.
take, right, you gotta take accountability for your goddamn kids. Exactly.
So again, she started. Within everything she said, I could have basically followed her, and then she started talking about gang culture, and I'm like, you missed me. You probably had me in the first half, coach, but then you started talking about gang culture and stuff. You lost me, and then you really lost me when you wanted to start talking about start talking to these fathers and whatnot. You got men directly in front of you, and I don't want people to understand this, right? I got other videos that's going to be, well, I think they might have been shown specifically with the Brandon T video, the Brandon T Johnson video where no, actually no, it's going to come up, right? So we got some of the family members of the woman who was assaulted by these kids, and the men in the family are there amongst the crowd, and this is the craziest part, listening to a lot of these women talk. Amongst the crowd that was originally there at the school, you saw men of varying ages. It was a mixed crowd directly up there of men and women. And then she's up here talking about it's not enough men. Huh? What are we talking about? But you got a man, again, you got a man directly in front of you, and all you're doing is hollering. All you doing is arguing. All you doing is putting the blame. He's saying, yo, stand down. We're here. We got this. Even like, nah, stand down, nothing. We ain't standing down from nothing. Tell those men to sit up there and stand up. This is what I be talking about. This is what I be talking about. This right here further shows you how difficult it is for black men out here who are about that life of being accountable for the community, trying to repair, trying to move directly in action. This is the difficulty that a lot of black men who are capable have to face. This is the uphill battle. It's not sitting up there dealing with white folks. It's dealing with the folks in your own community, specifically the women in your community. You literally saw all of those women rah, 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 one black man. For what reason? What reason? What reason? And it's like I'm looking at videos online of the mothers giving these types of like fake apologies, either written or verbal or something in between. And this type of rah, rah, rah that you want to give to brother Tyrone Muhammad, who is trying to do the right thing, he's getting the utmost fire. I'm confused. I'm a little bit lost. It's like, do you want black men to stand up or do you not want black men to stand up so you can sit up there and tell black men to stand? Like which one is it? So you don't really want them to stand up when they want to stand up, when they see something. You want them to stand up when you tell them to stand up, right? Because that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm gathering. Like, that's crazy to me. Tippy said, I see a lot more women in the crowd than men. But Tippy, you're talking about at this point, right? Again, I don't know where this video was taken. I don't know where they were at this moment in time. When I go to the original video and I look at the whole crowds that were in front of that school, I see mixtures of men and women directly out there. The whole community pulled up. The whole community pulled up. Tippy, I get you. But you're looking at that one optic instead of looking at the whole of the situation. And as I stated before, you got brother Tyrone Muhammad, who is one of the main black men in Chicago that stood up for black women, and the same resistance that he got during that time where he was telling black women like, yo, stop patronizing these nail salons. Stop going to these beauty supply stores where these Asians are beating y'all ass. You know what black women did? Told him to shut up. They told him to stand down. They told him that his sacrifice really wasn't worth it because we still need to get our nails done. Our hair and our nails are way more important than you trying to sit up there and save us from the Asian man and his abuse and treatment towards black women. He risked his life and his freedom in order to show black women like, hey, black men out here love you. We got you. We're going to hold it down no matter what we got to sacrifice. And black women out there said, we don't care. So if I'm going by the message, like you said before, let me go back to what you said before. You said there's not a lot of black men out there when we look at this crowd, right? No problem. So let's look at the sacrifice that Brother Tyrone Muhammad got, and let's see how that was acknowledged. So then let's look at that message and then try to figure out if more black men think that it would be great if they sacrifice their life and freedoms to represent and to try to protect black women directly out here versus just standing down and standing back. What do you think that a lot of black men would decide to do in that situation? They're going to stand down and stand back. Because if that black man got treated that way and he's trying to do the right thing coming from the situation that he came from, it's already over for any other black man out there. This is why I try to sit up there and tell people before that people got to pay attention to the whole thing. A lot of these things are intertwined and connected. And I've talked about this specifically on a platform before multiple times. Multiple times. So what we're going to do, well, Southside of CC said, if you watch the video, shows everybody and the mama was out there that morning. Market One says, sometimes the louder you get, the more people want to get away from you and not listen. It be like that. It be like that, you know. You said, yo, what is up? She does it. You said men in lead may not be their experiences. Gotcha. Wait, Gail said, Tev, thank you for the gift. Oh, I can't even specifically. Wait. Let me see it now. I gotta go to the. Also, much love, respect, and appreciation to anybody who has donated on the live stream. My apologies, just in case I'm not able to see it because I'm looking through StreamYard at this moment in time. So again, my apologies. I actually gotta go through. I think I gotta look at the other angle. Yeah, shout out to Tev for the 2 jewels. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Thank you. So again, my apologies for being late directly on that. I'm trying to catch up to the bottom of the comments. Chris T said it's not looking good for us. Family, consistent internal conflict, and combativeness. Yeah. Tibby said, I saw a man standing next to the mother in front of the school. He didn't speak at all. She looked tired of speaking. I think that was her husband. I'm not sure. I think I should have the video maybe of that somewhere directly in there. If not, I'll probably put that in a shorter formed content. But in a lot of these instances, again, people don't want to hear from men. We clearly saw Brother Tyrone Muhammad. In a lot of these instances, when it deals with situations where things are happening to black women, people don't really want to. People say that they want to hear from men, but they really don't want to hear from men, because the moment in time that men speak, if there's just one thing or one word that's a little bit out, everybody loses their minds. Because the main thing that the women here decided to stand directly on, it was like, you ain't telling us to stand down, aka you're not telling us what to do. We don't gotta listen to you. Who are you to think that you can tell us to stand down from anything? We are here. What are you going to do about it? You can't lead us. You can't force us. You can't make us. We're going to do what it is that we want to do. That's all they said. And they took that just off of the fact that he said stand down. That's offensive now? That a man that is of the community, that wants to look out for your safety and best interest like he did before, is trying to tell you to stand. This is why he walked away. This is why he's like, you know what? I throw my hands up. Y'all got it. Y'all deal with her. This is why, again, within the black community, you don't have a lot of black men that want to sit up there and lead. And a lot of people will sit up there and turn around and be like, well, Seiji, that just means that they're weak. They can't take the pressure. No, people don't feel like dealing with this type of foolishness. You got a plan. You got things in motion. You got money directly involved. You got people waiting to move, but they can't move because you got people like this directly in the way. Haven't you ever heard of the whole thing where people say that you got people out here that block their own blessings? Yeah, that's exactly what you're watching right now. You're watching these women out here block themselves from the protection of a black man and other black men directly out here. Because a lot of them feel that they're man enough, that they can do it on their own, that they can do it themselves. And that's, again, and I'm looking at the optics. I'm listening to all of the energy that these women are sitting up there giving. It's not no calm type of energy. They're not talking to this brother calm. They're not talking to this brother in a type of love. They're sitting up there being combative and argumentative like they're in a relationship with this dude. As if he sat up there is the one that sat up there and abandoned him and left him with the kids. Like I said, it's crazy out here. That's 100% nonsensical. Like I said, I would have walked away as well too. I'm like, dog, you got it. You got it. I'm not doing it. There's been times even in my own family where I've tried to sit up there and calm down disputes in between women in my family. And everybody now, instead of them arguing at themselves, now they want to argue with me. I'm like, y'all got it. Go out there and fight each other. Go. Keep sitting up there arguing. Keep calling each other out of your names. I throw my hands up. I'm leaving the house. You got it. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. So like I said, from my experience, I understand how it is that he feels. It's like you want to do the right thing, but you can't. Your hands are tied. And then just because your hands are tied and people know your hands are tied, you're still going to get blamed. And you're still going to have these women out here still sitting up here saying that black men ain't doing nothing. But yet you got their hands tied because you don't want them to actually do anything up until you tell them and you think that, okay, it's beneficial for you now to do something versus them acting as men when they see something. That's crazy. That's 100% crazy. And also onto the other aspect I want to talk about as well, too. There's a lot of women out here that sit up there and tell men that actually mean well. So let me put it to you like this. There's a lot of men in the black community right now that date women who have kids, right? Single mothers. Those, I'm talking about the good and decent ones. You have good and decent men that date women like this. And they're like, you know what? I see the errors directly within this. Let me, either discipline, let me have a conversation, right? Let me do this my way so that we can get this stuff straightened out. Far too many times you got black women out here that be like, yo, don't discipline my child. Don't touch my child. Don't talk to him that way. I'm his mother. I'm his parent. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But yet we'll sit up there and have women out here on social media and directly in these videos talking about they need men to stand up. Again, if you got good men out here that want to perform corrections, they want to move in a motion of leadership, but the women are sitting up there saying, no, you're not about to do this. This is why you got the chaos that you got with these kids sitting up there jumping this woman and her two kids. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of those women had some actual upstanding dudes that wanted to actually be there, even potentially get married or however it was. And they wanted to nip this stuff in the bud before it got into this way. But here we are. Now it's all over social media. This is the conversation that we got to sit up there and have. But like I said, a lot of people don't want to talk about that. I've been there myself, and there's a lot of other men that have been there that wanted to give specific corrections before things got too far out of hand to the point where the mother is not going to be able to deal with it. Especially if you got a son. If you're a black woman with a son, you know there's going to, or maybe you don't know, but let me let you understand something. There'll be a certain point in time where that young black man gets to a point where he wants to start challenging, right? That teenager, testosterone and everything is running. He wants to start challenging. You as a woman, you're not going to be able to meet that challenge. You're not going to be able to meet that challenge. It's going to get to a point in time he's not going to be fearful of you because he knows that he is stronger than you, and he is. He can cause damage. Whatever hits that you can give him, he can take those hits. You're not going to be able to take his for long. I can promise you that. And this is when you need a man to sit up there and step in. But as I stated before, when you got black men out here that want to step in when dealing with women who are single parents, raising these kids, quote unquote, by themselves, being independent, I don't need a man. This is when those women start coming directly to the men. Oh, stop what you're doing. You're not his father. You're nobody to him. You're not his parent. You're not blood related. What do you think you're doing? You're not going to punish my child. You're not going to put hands on my child. You're not going to tell my child what to do. So this is why you got these young boys directly out here running amok, ripping and running directly through the streets, because that potential good guy that could have stopped that from happening, he's out of the picture. He's like, you know what, ma'am, you got it. You got it. I'm going elsewhere. No problem. You deal with this situation. You deal with the blood on your hands. It ain't gonna be me. You deal with it. When your kid runs out there and he starts robbing and pillaging and murdering, when he's in and out of jail and prison, in and out of juvenile, in and out of courts, when he got a record, now he got to sit up there and be living with you, strung out on marijuana, selling drugs out of your house, vandalizing the community, bringing all types of dangers in his groups directly to the house. But like I said, people don't want to pay attention though. But people always want to talk about where are the black men? Where are the black men? Where are the fathers? If the fathers ain't there, you know what normally happens? You got other guys in there that are willing to actually step up, that are actually being willing to be there as a representative, to be a positive black role model. You know how many positive black role models that I had directly in my life? I had a lot. Even my boys who got their fathers. I idolize and look up to their fathers because of their actions, because of how it is that they treated their family, how it is that they were around my boys, the type of love and nurturing that they gave, the type of support that they gave to them. I wanted to embody that. I wanted to be just that. I'm like, you know what? I want to be like them when I grow up. That's the type of black man right there that I want to emulate and be just like. That's the type of effect that a black positive role model actually has. And this is what a lot of people don't actually seem to understand. But yet they want to tend to get online and talk about black men in general, and black men ain't doing this and black men ain't doing that because of those fathers, because of my black male teachers and many other black men that were positive that came into my life. Because of them, I am who it is that I am at this moment in time. Because very easily I could be ripping and running through the streets. You could have sat up there and saw me on Fox 2 or Channel 7 robbing somebody's house, taking somebody's life, but that's not specifically what happened. Because I was placed within an area of which that I was able to see great aspects of black men. That's why. But enough of that. Enough of that. How do we even get here? How do we now get to now you sit up here talking about stepfathers be violating kids? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? So okay, so let me get this straight, right? Let me just highlight this, right? So now we went to the whole aspect of the fathers not being there, as the woman stated, and black men not standing up, right? So then now we deal with the other aspect of black men actually standing up, aka, you know, those being stepfathers, apostles, role models, whatnot, whatever. And now those guys are just violators. Okay, all right. Like I said, you can't win. You just can't win out here. You just like you just can't win. It don't matter which way you go. Somehow it's going to be a negative when it deals with black men. It's crazy work out here. It's diabolical in nature. I kid you not. It's 100% crazy work out here. Whatever. Like I said before, just throw everything into a black hole and do not start over. Do not hit a restart button. Just throw everything away. Just throw everything away. That's the point that I'm at this moment in time. That's where I'm at this moment. Just throw everything away. There's no reason to rebuild. There's no reason. I'm talking about humanity as a whole. Just throw it all away. Throw it all away. Just do not restart. Do not recreate. Just bring back the dinosaurs. Go back to the Cretaceous period. Just have all of that. Don't have human beings here at all. Jesus Christ. This is just, I can't. All right, whatever. So we're gonna go to the next video.
These are my only 2 kids right here.
Because you don't have a baby.
I just don't put on Facebook like real that I go through every day in life. I don't post that on Facebook because people like to use that against you. So I try to keep shit to myself. I don't even, I don't even got nobody to vent to. I don't got friends. I don't trust nobody. I don't know what it is, what they want to do with my son. But my son is very friendly. Like he not the type that likes to fight. He's not a fighter. Yeah, he okay. He right here. Just smacked him very hard. And I couldn't get it. I couldn't move my son at the moment because I had my daughter standing in front of me. If I move my daughter or move any kind of way, I don't know what these kids trying to do.
Video circulating out on Facebook, and in this video it showed a group of students violently attacking a pregnant mother and her 2 children allegedly. I haven't seen the video, but there are people here protesting today, and they want these kids to be held accountable, and their parents. They want their parents and the children to be held accountable for this. People are out here angry and outraged on what has occurred here, and that's what's going on.
You know the whole city of Chicago looking for you, right? You and your little friends. Because you was grown yesterday. You were grown. And you was going to jump somebody. So now they looking for you. You know that, right? You know I'm not helping you, right?
Right. So we saw those videos, and one of the main things I want to point directly back to is you see this woman here. And it said waking up as parents to one of them bad kids in Chicago. To her, this is a joke. This is a 100% joke. She don't care. She got all of her filters on. She made sure she looked a certain type of way before she sat up there and filmed it and all this other type of stuff. She don't care. This is why the kids don't care. So let me take it to the standpoint of coming from a single parent household, right? My mom taught me certain things. The greatest thing my mom ever sat up there and told me is that she can never be the replacement of a man. She could never take a father's place. You're not going to have women out here. You're not going to have black women out here say that. You're not going to have black women out here sit up there and say that they can't do the masculinity. They can't be the man. They can't be the father. Nope. You're not going to have it. There's a lot of black women out here that celebrate Father's Day. There's a lot of black women out here that will sit up there and say that they are more masculine than any guy directly out here. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, this is something to be proud of. This is wild. This is crazy. And to record this and to think that, this is great and you're going to put it up on social media, and then to have other ones out here deciding that they want to co-sign this is nonsensical. Again, this is why I stated, because of, by the way, I use my mother as a ruler, but how it is that she is still to this day. And I look at that, and I look at the other women out here. And this is why I speak the way that I speak. Because at no point in time has my mother ever performed any type of goofiness as what I have been able to see here on social media. At all. She had never tried to emulate or be a man or try to beat a man. Or try to compare herself in any way, shape, or form. Or try to say that she can do more than, and she can do it 1000% by herself. She ain't never been that person. And she always sat up there and taught me that whenever you happen to do something bad, there's going to be consequences. And you're going to have to pay for those consequences, no matter what it is. And I made sure not to do that. Out of the love and respect that I have for my mom, I made sure every single day that I walked out of the house, that whatever she taught me, whatever she instilled in me, that I'm walking with that, not just by words, but also by action. And I did that continuously. It's diabolical in nature. Like I said, you're looking at a woman here of one of these kids. She does not care. So again, because she doesn't care, she's not taking the situation seriously. Therefore, the kids are going to take what is instilled and given to them by way of the parent or the parents. So now we're going to sit up there and look at another video real quick, because I'm going to save the best one for last. So now we're going to look at another video, and this is supposedly of one of the aunts, the next video that you're going to see here. This woman is supposedly one of the aunts of one of the kids, and I had to worked very hard. This is why, it took me a while. I was supposed to have this live stream up around 12 or 1. We're now at 3, probably closer to 4 o'clock, because I had to do a lot of editing, because you got some of these women out here that when they run their mouths, they're talking like sailors. So I have to try to do as much editing as possible so that it is palatable for a lot of folks directly out there, because I do have an understanding that everybody is not trying to hear cursing, every 5 to 10 seconds. So I get that. So I try to, do what it is that I can in the amount of given the time. So let's take a listen.
What's funny though, y'all was looking for me and y'all was chiming in on shit that y'all don't know nothing about. Oh, is this little Miss? Yeah, this Miss Ugly Jack. That's my niece. What you talking about? Sad. No, you sad. You sad. I want to go outside now. I'm ready to go outside. I'm going outside. I'm going outside, bro. Samaya, what's funny? Girl came out like pink and brown. Don't worry about what she came on. Came out the house with. Got crunched out there. You worried about the wrong shit. Your mama. They couldn't wait. They couldn't wait. Couldn't wait. Like, y'all found me all the way on TikTok. Troy, me. Said, you want the dish. You want the dish. You want the dish. You want the dish. Where's Miss Little Flamingo? She's not too far. Go outside. I'm ready for outside. I'm gonna... Don't give a f*** after me. Y'all don't even know. Y'all wasn't even here. Shut up. I don't think nothing cute. Y'all bother me. Y'all follow me all the way on TikTok. What the f***? They trolling. Man, they funny. I don't give a
Motherfuckers only be sorry when they get caught.
So I had a person basically say that I'm going off on the deep end as usual. And the nicest way that I can basically respond to this is that I'll sit up there and state this, right? Because I get this from both sides, right? I had supposedly a black man or whoever pull up to the scene under one of my other videos and call me weak because I was critiquing black women. I was bringing up things that should be brought directly up. And I was talking about these things as they should be talked about, right? And I got called weak directly for that. And now you come directly here when it deals with this situation. He's saying that I'm going off on the deep end. So for the women here, right, that feel like I'm going way too far, as a woman, tell me how it is that I should be moving as a man. Tell me how it is that I should be talking. Because it seems as though that a lot of y'all out here know more about being men than me, and know how it is that I should basically move, talk, act, and look at situations and look at different points of views. Let me know, educate me, since you know more about this than I do. Because it seems as though that no matter what angle that I sit up there and come at this with, it don't matter. Even and the funny part is, when I go off on black men, and I've done this on a variety of live streams, people have been there directly for it. I'm going on for about 2 to 3 hours, even having arguments with black dudes in the comment section, telling them off and everything. And I never get somebody like Dorothy telling me that I'm going off on the deep end as usual when I'm going off on black men. Why is that? When I'm going off on black men, when I'm going off of the young men and the young boys who are criminals, in and out of prison, juvenile hall, who are taking the lives of black women, children, elders, and everything like that, when I'm going off directly on them, why do I never see none of y'all pulling up to the scene telling me that I'm going off on the deep end? Why is that? I never get these comments. I never get these comments when I'm sitting up there talking about black men. And then on top of that, I throw my own hat. I throw myself directly into those situations, even though I have nothing to do with those situations. And I never hear y'all say nothing. But the moment in time that I start talking about these young black girls out here, these black teenagers out here, these black female teenagers out here, these young females out here, these grown women out here, that's the moment in time that y'all start magically talking. I showed you a video where you got supposedly one of the aunts. Let me just roll that back. This bird was sitting up here laughing on stream, not caring. And she knows what the situation is, and she don't care. She don't have no sympathy or no empathy, but I'm the one that's wrong though, right? I'm going off on the deep end. Right? I'm the one that's weak because I'm sitting up there critiquing this, right? Like, this is crazy. Who, S. Gordon, are you a male or female? Before I even give a reaction, I need to know, are you a male or a female? Because let me let y'all know, my patience is pretty thin at this moment in time, and I am doing my best to talk very cordially to a lot of folks here at this moment in time, because I was already pissed about this video 24 hours ago. And then I had to rewatch more content. And I had to read the statements from some of these parents of these kids, which now heightened that level of anger and way lowered my patience. So I'm just trying to figure out, for the person here that is highlighted, this S. Gordon, right? Because you said, I'm sad because I need to stop the hate for women. So me critiquing the situation, me critiquing the women arguing with the black man that is like, yo, let us take the lead. We got this. Me critiquing the mothers of these kids who don't even care, who ain't pulling up, who ain't showing up, who ain't turning their kids in. Me critiquing that situation basically means that I, as a black man, hate women. I really think that you're probably, matter of fact, because you said women, I know that you're not black, because you would have sat up there and said black women. So if you are a woman of another ethnicity, I need you to kindly shut the fuck up. I need you to just do that. It takes nothing. It costs nothing. Mind your business. If you are not a black woman, I need you to mind your business. If you are a white woman, Hispanic, Latin, Asian, African, whatever the hell you are, I need you to just kindly mind your business. I need you to sit up there and mind your business. Because this has nothing to do with women. I'm talking about specifically black women as a black man. That's who I'm specifically talking to. I don't care what's happening to you white women out there, to you Asian women, Hispanic women, anybody. I don't care what's happening to y'all in y'all communities, because I ain't the man of y'all community. I'm not there to sit up there and protect you, nor is it my job. I should not be concerned, nor should I care. I shouldn't be leveraging any type of empathy or sympathy for whatever your situations are. You need to be talking to your sons that you're raising. You need to be talking to the men of your community. You need to be talking to the fathers there. You need to be talking to the uncles and the grandfathers there. You need to be talking to all of the ones that work in the political fields and in the police and the military. You need to have those conversations with them. Direct that energy towards them. Don't bring that here. Don't bring that here. Like I said, that's crazy to me. And that further proves the point. That goes right back to what I said before, is that when you happen to make critiques, and again, this is not me. At no point in time in this live stream have I sat up there, and it's crazy that I got to go this route. At no point in time did I say that I hate women. That's crazy. But because of the way that I'm talking, because of the energy that I'm giving now for the people out there, is coming through as hatred. How do we get here? But yet when you have those black women barking and yelling at Brother Tyrone Muhammad, nobody was sitting up there talking about they have a hatred towards black men. Huh? How that work? So me talking about this situation, I got a hatred towards women, but the black women barking and hollering at Brother Tyrone Muhammad, trying to tell them something that they needed to hear, that wasn't deemed as hatred towards men or black men? Okay. This is what I be talking about. This is what I be talking about. Again, this is exactly why when it deals with the black community, you don't have a lot of black men out here wanting to step up to the role of being a leader. because you have a lot of folks out there that will impede directly on that. And the craziest part about this whole situation is the fact that I've stated multiple times that when it deals with these households, you need both men and women in there. Like I said, my mother sat up there and told me that. So it's crazy to me how my mother can sit up there and tell me the good, the bad, and the ugly about a lot of these situations and educate me on stuff. But then I look at online, I'm looking at people sitting up there writing stuff, and I'm like, so people just don't know how to be honest, huh? Right? People just don't know how to just admit fault. People don't know how to, say that, hey, my bad, I messed up. That's crazy. That's how my mother set up there and raised me, because she was always that person that was like, you know what, if I messed up, I messed up. I'm sorry. I apologize for it. A lot of y'all out here, and this is when, again, because somebody wanted to say I'm going off on the deep end, right? So let me go off on the deep end. So when I look at my mother and how it is that she's able to admit fault and she's able to apologize, and I look at these other weirdos out here, these other women out here, I'm like, yeah, y'all lost it. Y'all lost it because y'all don't know what to do, because y'all always want to be right even when you're wrong, and that's crazy to me. All of these women raising these kids are 1,000% wrong. 1,000% wrong. This is why they're in hiding. And then they're so wrong to the fact that they're standing 10 toes down on it on social media, telling other folks off. But yet, if I as a black man decide that I want to critique this whole situation, I'm the devil incarnate, right? I'm the one that basically hates black women out here because I'm critiquing the situation, because you feel as though that, oh, instead of you talking to us black women, how about you you go out there and talk to those black men, talk to those fathers. I don't know the fathers. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Maybe, man, because you're a woman and you probably slept with the same man that several other women slept with. Maybe you know who that father is. So maybe you should have that conversation. Or maybe you should make sure not to procreate as a chaotic person that you are. Maybe you should make sure not to, procreate with another chaotic person, bringing more chaos into life. Like I said before, you got a lot of folks out here that can't manage their own situations and their own lives being an adult, but yet you want to sit up there. You think that you got the wherewithal and the will to bring a child directly into this life, and you can teach them better than you taught yourself. Okay, you're going to fail, but okay, you got it. You got it. You got it. Like I said, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. My mom sat up there and taught me at the end of the day as a young man, was like, yo, don't go out here and get women pregnant, because I'm not helping you take care of no kids. And she also said that a lot of these girls out here need to keep their ankles closed, need to keep their legs closed. But again, if I regurgitate that exact same information, you know what, I'll sit up there and hear, oh, stop trying to control black women. Stop trying to tell black women what to do. You need to sit up there and give information to these young boys and start telling them this, start telling. I'm being told this by a woman. A woman told me this information. So I'm at fault for giving the information that a woman, aka my mother, told me to other women. That's diabolical. That's crazy. So that also lets me know that a lot of women and young girls don't even want to listen to the women in their families, even when they mean well. That's all I'm gathering. That's all I'm gathering. But like I said, let's, as Gordon said, that, I obviously I hate women, guys. Oh man, somebody always got to sit up there and say that I hate something in order to feel good. I guess so. Like I said, whatever nightmare you need me to be, whatever criminal you need me to be, whatever villain you need me to be, I will always be here. So come back. Whatever profiles that you got to make, if one of my moderators bans you, come right back. You will always be welcomed. I will be whatever you need me to be. I will be the greatest hate that you have ever had in your life, because that's what you want and that's what you see, right? So I'm going to give you just that. So now we're going to continue to the greatest of the greatest videos, where and this is not just a little snippet like you were getting on social media. This is the full close to 10-minute apology video. And we can clearly see the mother directly next to her daughter, right? She got her hair did. She made sure she did a little dress up. She's holding the camera, making sure that every now and again you see her in the picture. And I want people to pay attention within the first 10 to 20 seconds. You're going to notice during the apology that the young girl, she and like I told y'all before and showed y'all on a previous live stream, this girl that I said that was bigger than the mom that was attacked, this was the girl that initiated that fight, that initiated that swing. And she swung on that mother multiple times. And I want you to pay attention to the smiles and almost laughter that she gives while trying to give this apology. And I also want to note that this mother's going to sit up there and try to tell the adults in the room to, keep it respectful. This is a child, right? But yet that wasn't so are we supposed to be respectful of a child after we done seen them beat directly on the mother and her kids? Swinging on a woman that has a health condition that can't even properly defend herself? We're supposed to be respectful of that because it's a child? Like I said, no accountability. So let's go.
She is one of the children that was a part of the fight at OT Bright School on yesterday. We're just coming live so she can say her piece and take accountability. I won't say too much. And please, anyone that decides to say anything, keep it respectful. This is the child.
Hey, my name is Kamira Grant, and I was wrong for everything.
It's okay, Kamira.
For everything that I did. And I was just being a follower, following everybody who don't even got nothing that I got. And I apologize for everything because I wouldn't want to be in that situation. And I feel bad because
it's okay.
I gotta go through so much. Like, I wish I would never did what I did.
Do you have anything to say? I think her name is Shauna.
I was a bit. People think. Oh, puppy. And somebody on my. Oh, puppy. A puppy name. My Baba. Happy. Are you? I'm a different person than that. Happy.
I think everybody, we've all seen the video. Everybody's been sharing it. The public outcry is definitely there. And we're all on the same accord that it was, we want, I think more so than anything, we want everybody to understand that this is a child. All of them children that was in that video was children. Some of them, not all of them, may have families, but this baby here, she has a family that
So, let me
cares, that loves her, that has held her accountable. She understands what is going on, and I don't expect her to speak.
So this is my problem, right? She said that she has a family. She was also trying to console her. She was like, "It's okay." What is it? What are you talking about? It's okay. Ain't nothing okay. We watched the video of your daughter, your big daughter, swinging directly on a woman that has a health issue. She didn't want to try to swing on a woman that she knows could have laid her out. Nah. She wasn't trying to do that. She swung with somebody that she knows she could take full-fledged advantage of. Your daughter was praying directly on that woman. She knew what it was that she was doing. And you're trying to console her with tears that are not even there, talking about it's okay. Huh? This is why I be talking about where there is no type of accountability, and people want to sit up there and get mad at me and write dumbass comments like this talking about, yes, you hate black people and you see us, but other cultures deeper. Like I said, I'm not even sure if the rest of that is even English. Like I said, this is the type of stupidity I got to deal with whenever it is that I want to give critiques when it deals with the black community. You got folks out here that just don't want to sit up there and listen. Like I said, I understand why it is that a lot of people say like a third or a half or whatever are just going to sit up there and perish. It'd be like that. I'm not going to shed no tears. It'd be like that, man. Because this is tiring. It is sickening. This is an arduous task that I should not even have to take like this. It should not be this difficult to try to convey simple things to other people, especially to adults. It should not be that difficult, but yet y'all make it oh so difficult. You throw all types of projections, whatever views that you basically got, because you feel that specifically, because if you are a woman or a black woman, you feel like little Seji is sitting up there picking on you. Why does he have to talk about us all the time? Why does he have to sit up there and make these videos? This is why. Because his mother's not holding her daughter accountable. But, oh, wait, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to sit up there and say, but Seji, the other women are there. Where's the father? I don't know. Ask the mother where the father is or where the fathers are. How would I know this? I'm not out there sleeping with multiple guys, creating multiple kids. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Nor have I sat up there and created multiple kids out here. So again, I'm not doing that. So you're asking the wrong person. The only person that really has this information is the woman that lays down with multiple men. So again, I need people to start holding these women accountable who are going out here and hopping from dick to dick to dick to dick and allowing all of these dudes to just blast from wall to wall inside of them. I need y'all to sit up there and start talking directly to these women. I need you to start doing that. Stop coming at me with this nonsense. Stop scapegoating. Stop moving the goalpost. Like I said, a lot of y'all out here, y'all will be great ice skaters the way that y'all be sliding across a lot of these topics. Y'all be the greatest ice skaters to ever be seen in existence. Like, this is wild to me. Let's keep going, dog.
Do not expect her to speak as we are going to speak because she's a child. What grade are you in, Kamira?
8th.
She's in 8th grade.
What grades do you get?
A's and B's, and I was homecoming queen. I'm the captain of the cheerleading team.
And you know that?
And I know I'm a better person than what I was yesterday. And
Let me pause that real quick, because even amidst her trying to big herself up, this is what I'm talking about, the lack of accountability. When you're looking at the mother trying to lessen what it is of the seriousness of this situation, tell them who you are. I get good grades. I got a 3 or 4.0. Captain of the cheerleading team. I do this, that, and the third. I'm not the same person I was yesterday. Huh? That mother was in the hospital. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? But like I said, I need those people that always want to sit up there and critique me. Those people that always want to pull up to the scene and critique me on how it is that I sit up there and talk about these situations. I need y'all to run y'all fucking mouths about this right now. Run y'all mouths. Don't be skating. Don't be goal posting. Run your mouths the same way that y'all be running y'all mouths on any other live stream and on any other short form video that I do. Run y'all mouths right now. I bet you won't. I bet you won't have nothing to say. I bet you'll stay quiet. I bet you'll shut the fuck up. I bet you. Like I said, that's crazy to me. I sit up there and show countless evidence for about what we've been going for. I don't even know. About for an hour and 13 minutes. Countless evidence of the fakery, of the illogical, of the nonsensical, of the foolishness, of the mass emotions that are directly out there. And I'm the one that's wrong. I hate women, hate black women, hate black people. What else somebody got? What else? What else? What else? What else do you got? You gonna say I'm white on the inside? You gonna call me Oreo? What else do you got? What else? Because I like, like I said, it's incredible to me that when people don't like the face of what's being shown, They want to start throwing all of these names instead of actually, attacking the problem, the real problem, and coming up with a solution. Because all of the people that want to sit up there and talk about me and talk about my critiques, they don't never come through with a solution. That's why I keep trying to tell a lot of folks here. A lot of y'all want to run y'all mouths about how it is that I speak, but y'all never talk about a goddamn solution at all. I've simply stated a multitude of times for a lot of y'all black folks out there, both men and women, some of y'all just don't need to be near each other at all because y'all just full of hatred and chaos, and that's directly for both parties. A lot of y'all are failures. There's no other way to sit up there and tell you. God is not going to tell you. Jesus is not going to tell you. Satan is not going to tell you. Nobody in religion is going to tell you. The people that you vote for is not going to sit up there and tell you. Your own kids are probably not going to tell you, but a lot of y'all black folks out here, both men and women, y'all are failures. You've not only failed your kids, but you failed yourself. But yet you still decide within every single thing, I got one more left in me, coach. Let me create some more kids. Good job. Good job. And then y'all come directly here and y'all want to start sitting up there critiquing me when I've tried to talk about these situations and try to give solutions. While I'm trying to tell black people like, hey, y'all need to sit up there and start going to therapy. Y'all need to, really start being around each other. Y'all gotta, really drop a lot of this nonsense and part ways with that so that we can come together and fix these situations. Like I said, none of y'all niggas pull up to those situations in those videos when I happen to highlight and talk about this, but y'all really are so dead set on, and I'm talking about for both black men and black women, y'all really so dead set to pull up to the scene when I'm on these videos. And y'all really want to bolster. Y'all really want to poke y'all chest out and try to, prove how much more of whatever it is that you are versus me. That's some crazy work. When I'm talking about togetherness and I'm talking about black women and black men coming together and being like a family, don't matter if you're married, engaged, boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever it is, as long as you are a family and raising that kid and giving them the love and nurturing, y'all never have nothing to say. And those also be some of the most low viewed live streams and videos that I do. So realistically, for a lot of you fakes out there, and I have to call you fakes, how much do you actually really care about the situation? About black men and black women actually coming together and formulating something for the positive? Realistically, you don't. You just get online every single day because you cannot face what it is that you go through in everyday reality. It could be your family, it could be your boss, it could be a relationship, it could be your kids, it could just be the failure that you see within yourself every single time you look at your face. And because you can't sit up there and deal with that, that leads you back to me. And here we are. That's some crazy work. Y'all really don't care. Y'all just want to complain just to complain. Like I said before, Brother Tyrone Muhammad gave a solution to black women when it dealt with the Asians in the nail shops and the beauty supply stores. Black women still decided not to listen. And the same man that sacrificed his freedom and his life showed up again to black women. I don't know if he's going to show up a third time. To the black women out there, I'm not sure if he's going to show up a third time. If he does, hey, brother, he is better than me. He is better than me. Because I'm going to tell you right now that a lot of men are not going to sit up there and give you a third shot. Especially when it deals with them risking their life and their freedom. They're not going to give it a third shot. You'd be like, yo, you on your own. I did everything that I could do. I'm not going to the furthest extent because I understand where you are and how far you're not willing to go. I'm not going to go there. So at the end of the day, all I'm sitting up there saying is that you got a lot of folks out there. You can't save people from themselves. And I'm looking at a lot of these women who are raising these kids. There's not a man out here who can sit up there and save them. Jesus can't save them. And a lot of them sit up there and they swear that they believe in God and they believe in Jesus and they go to church. Jesus still ain't save y'all. So I know that any of these black men out here that would love to, that want to, that have the ability to, I know they couldn't do it. If God and Jesus can't do it, it's impossible for them to do it as a man. They can't do it. But yet, somehow, some way, black men are still going to get blamed. Let's continue.
It's okay, for everything that I did. And I was just being a follower, following everybody who don't even got nothing that I got. And I apologize for everything because I wouldn't want to be in that situation. And I feel bad Because
it's okay.
I gotta go through so much. Like, I wish I would never did what I did.
Do you have anything to say? I think her name is Shauna.
I was a bit. People think. Oh, puppy. And somebody I'm not. Oh, puppy. Upon your knee. My Baba. Happy. Are you? I'm a different person than that. Happy.
I think everybody, we've all seen the video. Everybody's been sharing it. The public outcry is definitely there. And we're all on the same accord that we want, I think more so than anything, we want everybody to understand that this is a child. All of them children that was in that video was children. Some of them, not all of them, may have families, but this baby here, she has a family that cares, that loves her, that has held her accountable. She understands what is going on, and I don't expect her to speak. We do not expect her to speak as we are going to speak because she's a child. What grade are you in, Kamara?
8th.
She's in 8th grade.
What grades do you get?
A's and B's, and I was homecoming queen. I'm the captain of the cheerleading team.
And you know that.
And I know I'm a better person than what I was yesterday. And I can make a difference.
And you will make a difference, right?
I will make a difference.
Still smiling.
Okay. So whoever laughing, whatever that's about, I want y'all to know that this baby, as well as all the other babies that's in that video, are very much our future. So if we laughing at them, we laughing at ourselves. So we want to make sure that we check that and that we be present, and that those people that are not on the ground, those people that are scared of our young kids, that we get out here and we touch them, that we let them know that we here, that we got something to say, that we care about them, that they have more resources than they know, and that we are available to them.
And know that it takes a village. It takes a village to raise all these kids.
Okay, let me stop right there. You wouldn't need a village if you just would not be out here having unprotected relations with continuous men. I'm sorry. Let me go back off on the deep end again. I should have prefaced that by saying I'm going off on the deep end again. Because throughout my life, I've talked to both guys and I've talked to girls, women, whatever. And I've specifically told both sections that, yo, for the guys, like, hey, yo, if you're going to do something, wrap it up. Right. But if you're going to do something, like, don't be out here getting women pregnant. Right. I've had these conversations. I made videos directly about this. Right. And I don't really get pushback from guys. When I happen to make these videos and I had these conversations, guys having to understand it was like, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't be. That's irresponsible. You know, that's dumb on my part. I got guys that can sit up there and actually have those conversations. I have yet to sit up there and meet a woman that sit up there and say the exact same thing as guys. Like, yo, I messed up. That was dumb on my part. I really shouldn't have done. Nah. The conversation always is like, yo, it's the man's fault. Word? Brother, you're basically a treasure chest. you are the only person that knows the combination to that lock. So if multiple keys come directly to that lock, that don't mean that multiple keys are going to be opening that lock unless you allow those multiple keys to open that lock. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you are in control as a woman. You're autonomous. You're in control of your own body. You're in control of whatever petri dish that you got inside of your walls, and that gets, layered with all types of DNA. You're in control of that. Just like you know specifically who the father of each and every one of these kids is. No man can sit up there and tell you, oh yeah, I'm this, I'm nah, brother. And then you want to turn around and sit up there and make these same videos saying the same thing, talking about it takes a village to raise these kids. Nah, stop having these kids. Stop doing this. Why is the responsibility on the village? Why is the responsibility on the city? Why is the responsibility on the town? Why is the responsibility on the whole of the black community because of what it is that you created? And you're not responsible enough to basically take care of your creation. Why do I have to be responsible for your lack of responsibility? Why? But again, I'm sorry, I'm going off on the deep end, right? All I'm looking at and hearing is people, like I said before, you got a lot of folks out here that are consistently inconsistent. That's the only thing that they can be consistent with. People ain't consistent with religion. They ain't not in consistency when it deals with religion or, you know, dealing with Jesus or God. They're not even consistent on hygiene. Folks ain't even consistent on their bills, on their job and relationships. Matter of fact, people can't even be consistent when it deals with themselves. But they can make sure just in the whole, you know, point of view of life, they can be consistently inconsistent when it deals with actually being there, when it deals with reality in life. And this is how we get people saying this, running up online talking about it takes a village. Nah, man, you're not about to put that responsibility on me. The only way that I'm responsible for somebody else's kids, if I decide to throw my hat in the ring and be like, you know what, let me give a hand, let me help out. That's like sitting up there saying, like, I'm responsible for other black women directly out here in the community. I'm responsible for protecting them. Who? Huh? My mother sat up there and told me, yo, at the end of the day, you have the women in this family. She was like, I feel sorry for those other women who may not have, you know, men and other things out there to protect them, but you have a home here. We are the women that you come back to. We are the ones that raise you. We are the ones that take care of you. You better not go out here and risk your life for any other woman directly up out here. That is not your responsibility. So again, I'm going exactly by the teachings of my mother. And because of the teachings of my mother, that's why I'm able to be here. Because in a lot of instances, if I thought that I was Superman, I would have died. Because there's kryptonite everywhere. And I'm not bulletproof. Nor am I invincible, nor am I immortal. Like I said, people don't understand that. But they want to get mad when you're not specifically on the whole thing of, like, you know, defending and doing this and doing that and all this. Man, I don't got no time for that, man. Like I said, I've done this for way too long, and I've critiqued both sides. I don't care if you're male or female, female or male. I don't care if you're a bitch or a nigga or a bitch. It don't matter. Don't matter. Does not matter. For me, I use it indiscriminately. Man, woman, woman, man. That's basically where I'm at this moment in time. It don't matter. But it be like that, though. It be like that. Let's continue.
This is not just one person's fight. This all, and I want you to know, Kamara, this is not all on you. You taking your responsibility of the role that you played in this. And she know the role that she played in this. And I want y'all to know that this is not the kid that she is, nor will she let the internet turn her into a kid that y'all gonna try to say she is. So we are cooperating with investigation, or whatever needs to happen will happen.
And I think we had a pretty honest conversation today, right? Yeah. And you understand, like, it's okay to be smart. You're smart. You get A's and B's. You the captain of the cheerleaders team. You was homecoming queen. You don't have to be bad just because you think it's cool. You don't have to do what other people do. Right? This don't define you. You are wrong. But this is not your end all be all. You can come back from this.
And you will come back from this.
You will come back from this. And everybody, like, give these parents and these kids, like.
Somebody said, where's the father at? Go ask the women. Go ask the women. Go ask the women. Because I'm looking at 3 women here that sit up there and say that they love and care about this girl, but where were they at before this instance happened? Where was all of this love and support? Where was all this respect and value that you're trying to deliver at this moment, which is the wrong time to do this? Where was all of this before it got this far? That's the main thing that I keep trying to tell people. That's the main thing that I keep trying to convey. Like, I'm not trying to hear people talking about, oh, you know, we women, we love all girls and women directly out here. We support. Where was all of that support before these bad things happened? Where was all that upliftment? Like I said, during this moment in time right now, you want to act like you treating her like she's the victim. You're like, tell them who you are. Tell them the grades that you make. Tell them the leadership roles that you had in and what it is that you're going to be, your dreams and your aspirations. Let them know that you're not the same person that you were yesterday. Where was all of this before she got out of control? Where was that at? Where was that at? Like I said, where's all the people that normally be talking about some black girl magic? Where are those people at? Because I need y'all directly to the front and center at this moment in time, because I don't really see y'all talking. There used to be a point in time, you know, you used to always see like women, you know, dropping this and saying this online, TikTok videos, Facebook videos, IG videos, whatever it is. You would always sit up there and see this. Now, all of a sudden, nobody want to start talking about black girl magic. Nobody want to start talking about black women. We did this. Black women, we in here. Nobody want to pedestalize this type of nonsense here, though. Everything else, though, is completely cool and fine, right? But now, magically, you know, nobody has nothing to say. That's some crazy work. Some diabolical work.
Let's give the kids a little grace. Let's get to the bottom of this. This is the issue in our community. This is why the term a village, it takes a village. It's a lot for a parent. I'm not a parent, but it's a lot for a parent. Like, let's let these kids take accountability, but let's not dog these kids. These are kids.
And let's make sure that we explain it to these kids why it's wrong.
So you got kids out there making grown adult decisions, but we're still going to sit up there and call them kids? What if those kids would have ended up causing enough harm and damage to that woman that already had a health condition where she lost her life? Are you going to sit up there and say that they shouldn't be tried as adults because they kids? They made a mistake? Like, how far are we going to take they're just kids? Because I didn't cover a lot of videos directly out there, and there was another video from Chicago. If y'all been here long enough, there was a mother where her son, I think he lost his life, because a guy noticed that the son was, you know, robbing cars and whatnot, or whatever. So a shootout happened. You know, the son lost his life or whatever it was, or however it happened. And the mother was up there talking about her son was the man of the house. He was the one that she depended on. I'm like, he's 12 or 13. What are you talking about? He's the man of the house. Come again? What are we talking about here? Shouldn't the man of the house be the ones that you are sleeping with? The ones that you are creating these kids with? Why would it be your 12 to 13-year-old son who is out here at 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning trying to steal somebody's car? And he plays stupid games, won stupid prizes. Like what are we talking about here? People wonder why it is that I got the mouth that I do. Is because I've been covering these topics for a very long time. And it's like, in general, a lot of y'all just really don't care. A lot of y'all just don't care. Just like I said before, other people like to bring up the fact like, yo, Seji, why don't you do positive videos on black people? Because realistically, y'all don't care. I'm honestly telling you, if I could actually turn on my camera, I would let you see my face as I'm talking directly to you. Y'all do not care. And I'm honestly telling you that as a content creator. I'm letting you know what it is that you don't care about, because I pay attention analytically by what it is that y'all happen to come directly to. Positive videos about black folks is not what y'all even care about. So miss me with that. Like I said before, we got a moderator here by the name of Officer Haku, aka Brandon V World. He had a whole channel that was dedicated because he's black all day. Black family, black kids, black car, everything, right? He created a platform where it had positive black videos out there. People getting married, people doing dates, spending time with their kids, funny moments, and all of that. Do you know how many black people showed up? Barely any. So again, like I said before, other people out here are not going to specifically tell y'all stuff because they're afraid of basically losing subscribers and things of that nature. I'm at the point I just don't care. It's whatever. It's whatever. It can go back down to 72. Like I told people before, the subscriber base can go right back down to 72. It's whatever. I'll still sit up there and put out videos. And I'll still have people pulling up to the scene complaining, talking about, oh, I'm unsubscribing. This is why I've never subscribed. And this, that, and that. Okay, so what? So what? You're acting like you're really giving, like you're actually giving me something, like you're actually doing something for me. You're not. Like I said, I spend my life, whatever energy that I have, in order to try to convey a point, to try to bring some things directly through so things can be fixed. And I just noticed that a lot of people are just ungrateful. That's some crazy work. And then once people start basically doing other stuff, people are like, oh, you know, sellout, you wasn't really about that. Nah, people got tired of people not listening. So why stay where you realistically not want it? Why stay where it is that you know that people ain't gonna listen to you? Why keep doing the same thing and expecting different results? Why? So again, this is why the black community is in the shambles that it currently is in at this moment in time, and it's because, for a lot of the reasons, it's because of black folks. Y'all say that y'all know what y'all want, but y'all really don't. Y'all say y'all want accountability, y'all want the respect, y'all want the value, y'all want this, y'all want that. But it's like when somebody brings that directly to the table, y'all like, Jesus, take the wheel. And I could have sworn y'all ain't caring nothing about a white man's religion, so I'm not even sure why y'all keep bringing up Jesus. But here we are. Like I said, I want to give a shout out to a few folks directly out here. Shout out to J-Lock for the 5. We're going to round that up to the $5.99 donation to the channel. Said, I live in Chicago. People are upset. We are sick and tired of Pookie and Pookisha's kids terrorizing the neighborhoods and the schools. That is bars. Shout out to J-Lock. And we got the man of the hour, Officer Haku, aka Brandon V World. Shout out for the $2 dono. Said, yo, whatever happened to the Black family time? Yeah. And this is one of our moderators here. This is my guy right here who had the channel, and black people didn't pull up to the scene. Black people did not show up. So like I said, I'm talking from experience, and I'm talking by way of the experience of other folks out here that tried it. A lot of black folks out here talk a very great game, and they're going to talk themselves directly to hell. It's crazy work out here. And they're going to look around and talk about, how did I get here? It had to be the white man. Nah, it was you. It was all black hands and black feet that led you directly down this road. It wasn't nobody else. You willingly performed the actions. You willingly talked yourself. And you walked the necessary steps in order to make it directly into the flames. It'd be like that. It'd be like that, you know. But let's continue.
A lot of these kids are each other influences, and it's so easy to say, oh, they being raised wrong. No, sometimes kids are being raised right. This child, she being raised right. She's being raised correctly. Peer pressure is something. We all experienced it. Peer pressure is something. We all experienced it. So we're not going to try to somehow take ourselves out of the equation.
And okay, so this video is I'm probably going to do just a solo video just about this apology. That's going to have to happen. I don't know who she is. I'm not even going to sit up and say that she's the mother. This woman here basically said that peer pressure is really something, but at the same time sitting up there stating that this child is raised right. Man, which one is it? Because I was raised right, and I also dealt with peer pressure, and I didn't fall into the peer pressure. I wasn't getting into fights in schools. I wasn't sitting up there smoking weed. I wasn't drinking at a young age. I wasn't out here creating kids in broken homes. I wasn't in and out of juvenile hall, prison and jails. The police didn't sit up there and know my name. Again, I was around other guys that were doing stuff. I was able to see this. It was right there. The temptation was right there, and I was like, nah, that's not me. It was a nice glass wall. It was like, yeah, we're not doing that. We're not that stupid. And we made it here. So I'm not taking myself out of the situation when it deals with peer pressure, but I can sit up there and tell you that that child ain't raised right. You're not doing the things that you need to do in order to instill into that child that you do not fall into that gap where everybody else decides to fall directly in because they want to be a follower. How dare you sit up there and at one moment in time try to blame her actions on peer pressure, but say at the same time that she's raised right? Where? We wouldn't have to do this video. Matter of fact, we wouldn't even know who any of you guys are if she was actually raised right. If all three of these women who say that they love and they admire and that they care about this little girl, if all three of them showed up for the full duration of this girl's life and up until this point, we would not even have this video. She wouldn't even have been amongst those groups. She probably would have been racing home to do her homework within 5 minutes because she's just that smart, and she would have had free time to just probably go do some schooling somewhere else. She might have been out there tutoring other kids that might have trouble. Like I said, I knew a girl like that. Shout out to Danielle. I knew a girl like that. She was smart. She wasn't a follower. She didn't do what the other girls sat up there and did. After school was done, she came home. She sat up there and did her homework, and then she was going to college while being in high school. This girl was, I'm not even going to say was smart. This girl is smart. So like I said, I know what it is that I'm talking about. So like I said, miss me with all of this black girl magic stuff that they trying to sit up there and do in this whole video during this situation. This is the wrong time to be doing this. You had any other time before this to try to oh, we're going to uplift this and try to turn this negative into a pot. No, we're not doing that here. We're not doing that here. You're trying to take away the weight of this situation. You're trying to lighten this. We're not doing that. You're trying to scapegoat. You're trying to basically shift the weight away from your child or family member onto other people. We're not doing that. We saw her on camera. We saw who laid hands on who first multiple times. We saw who took part and did not stop anything. And she was one of the biggest ones there. And she could have basically stopped people like, hey, we're not doing this. This ain't it. Let's just go about our business. She ain't do that. But you talking about she raised right though. And then the other one want to pull up to the scene talking about, oh, it takes a village to raise it. Okay. Again, placing the blame on other people. Instead of you placing the blame squarely at home for whatever reason, I'm not sure why this woman is not stating that everything starts at home. You're sitting up there trying to generalize and say it starts with the community. No, sweetheart. Everything, when it deals with a child, it starts at home. Trust me, I come from a single parent household. You miss me with the whole thing deal with the community. The community comes after. Everything starts at home. That is your first school. Your mother and your father, your family, those are your first teachers. Miss me with all that nonsense. We got Sham in here with the $5 dono. Said peer pressure don't make you plan an attack someone with sickle cell and their children. They plotted it and carried it out, smart enough to know better. That's facts. That's 100% facts. Let's keep going.
Also, we can start an initiative. I think we're going to work with Kamara to start maybe a bullying campaign or something to raise more awareness, to let everybody know that this is serious. She know it's serious and that this not okay. So, yeah, and we'll definitely have some bullying, anti-bullying, even peer pressure. It's all the same. It's all one and the same. So
it's Chicago. It's a big city.
Yeah.
And we all we got.
But you also know you make your own decisions. Mm-hmm. When you get in trouble, you in trouble. You don't get to fall back on it because you're a kid. Yeah, we all know that, but you still have to put your best foot forward. You still got to do the best that you can. You still cannot put your hands on people, feet on people, or none of that. The only time you need to be putting your hands on somebody is if they touch you. Other than that, your hand's supposed to be on your side.
I just want to say this. Some decisions we make is not of our parents and what they teach us, but what we want to experience on our own. So it don't matter sometimes how you're necessarily being raised. Mistakes do happen. And if you have children yourself and they make a mistake, and I don't care if it's as small or big as the Bible, the Quran, or whatever y'all may read, whatever y'all may worship, one sin is not bigger than the next.
No, we're not doing this. We're not about to sit up there and pull in the church and start talking about God and G. We're not doing this because this is a godless situation right now. Your child decided to be with her friends and groups in a pack of niggas. They decided to be in a pack in a group, and they went out there and they stalked and preyed upon a mother and her two kids and beat them. And then you want to sit up there and talk about no sin is greater than the other. No, I'm judging. There's no other way to sit up there. Like, no, this is a straight 100. Ma'am, you're a liar. We're not doing this. We're not doing this because if we're supposed to, like, okay, so we're going to sit up there and say the crime that your daughter committed is the exact same crime as a Geppetto. Is that what we're going to say? We're going to put your daughter in the same box in the same criminality format as that? I bet you're not going to do that. I bet you won't do that. So you're going to put your daughter in the same criminal box as a man out here that goes out here and how can and grapes individuals? Is that what we're going to do? I bet you're not going to do that. So let's not sit up there and play these semantics. Let's not play these games and try to sit up there and say like no sin is greater than. Let's not be stupid. let's not do this, guys. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. Like I said, this is what I be talking about. She's saying that she's trying to, bring accountability. There is no accountability. You've been dismissive in a lot of the statements that you decided to make when it deals with your daughter, especially when you wanted to big her up for about a good 2 or 3 minutes in this main conversation. There are no tears here. Nobody looks even sympathetic or sorry. Even when you mention the name of the woman, right? The daughter didn't even say the woman's name. She don't mean nothing that she's saying. She's the same person that she was yesterday and the day before that and the day before that and the day before that and the week before that and the month before that and the year before that. The actions, how she wanted to basically say that, no matter how a child is raised, like some kids perform actions because, they want to see those actions in reality. It's not indicative of the parents. Actually, yes, it is. So you're going to sit up here and tell me that at not one point in time in that child's life, she's seen you sit up there and act wild. She ain't never seen you fight. She ain't never seen you act wild. She ain't never seen you be disrespectful towards another woman. Because again, I want you to understand, this young girl was disrespectful to another woman. She wasn't disrespectful to a man. She wasn't disrespectful to somebody's uncle. She wasn't disrespectful to somebody's grandfather. She was disrespectful to another woman, another black woman at that. Somebody who was reflective of her, somebody who was reflective of her mother. And she decided to be disrespectful to her. Okay. So you're saying that she's raised right and that she didn't learn any of her fighting techniques from any of the women that we see here. Okay, got it. She only learned this outside of home. She learned to be this violent outside of home. She never learned any of this from in home. You got it. You got it. Let's continue.
And this is not Kara condoning anything. This is me holding full accountability for what is going on and me understanding that this is a child and that instead of being a part of the problem or talking down on the problem, that I'm going to become a solution to that problem. And I just urge everybody to do the same. So while you in your neighbor's hoods, if you in South Shore, you in Inglewood, you in Woodline, you in Jeffrey Manor, wherever you at, touch these babies. Let these babies know that you love them. Understand what's going on with them. See how you can make a difference because you can save somebody's life.
So let me understand what she's saying, right? She wants the adults directly out here in these black communities to go out there and talk to these kids like, yo, hey, little bro, I see you. I love you. Do you understand that those kids are going to consider you to be a weirdo? You're a stranger telling them that you love them. Some of these kids, if you were to actually even try to speak to them, they'll have a problem with you initially just off of that. They might try to fight you. They might try to jump you. They may even try to take your life because you wanted to talk to them positively. You wanted to instill some value. See, this is why I be trying to sit up there and state when a lot of women say stuff online, but they don't really know what it is that's happening out here and how things that you do will not come through okay. Because let's put it to you like this, right? If a grown man came out here and his intentions were to basically he saw like young girls out here, running amok and all this other type of stuff, and he just wanted to have a conversation and be like, yo, I want y'all to know that, regardless on if you got, a father or whatnot, in your life or positive male role models, I, as a black man, like, yo, I love you. I see you. You can do better. Uplift yourself. The moment in time, let me let y'all know something. The moment in time that a strange black male tells any young girl out here that he loves them, I want everybody to know the community's calling for the police. They're calling for the FBI, the CIA. They're calling for Rangers with Attitude. They're calling for the Beetleborgs. They're calling for Voltron. They're calling for Astro Boy. They're calling for Ultraman. They're calling for everybody to stump that man out because people are like, why would you sit up there and tell a young girl that you don't know that's not even your daughter or a family member that you love them? So I need people to miss me with all of this nonsense. When you want to pull up to the scene and try to tell people that, oh, you need to come out here and reach one. You need to let them know that they're valued, that they're loved and respected. Nah, brother, if if those kids, I'm just gonna be real, if a lot of those kids are really looking for that, they'll find it the same way that a lot of these kids, they find gangs, a lot of ways that these kids find a quick lick, a lot of ways that these kids find party, alcohol, weed, and fights and guns and all this. The same way that they can find all of that stuff, they can find adults that actually value and respect them, but they choose not to be around them. They choose not to seek them out. Let's keep going.
And she understands too that this very well could have been a totally different situation. Y'all know me, y'all for sure know Alita, and y'all damn sure know Naima too, and know that we stepping 100%. So if that was us, it would have been a different situation, as well as her mother. So let's thank God that it wasn't that, because this is still our child. This is still our black child.
Huh? Wait, let me repeat. Hold on. Maybe because somebody translate this for me. I'm sorry. I'm just, hold on.
If that was us, it would have been a different situation, as well as her mother. So let's thank God that it wasn't that, because this is still our child. This is still our black child.
What is she talking about? Hold on. Let me just replay that one more time. Maybe I gotta pull it. Maybe it's something I missed. Hold on. Let me just look at this.
Totally different situation. Y'all know me, y'all for sure know Alita, and y'all damn sure know Naima too, and know that we stepping 100%. So if that was us, it would have been a different situation, as well as her mother. So let's thank God that it wasn't that, because this is still our child. This is still our black child.
Can somebody? Can I? This, it gets to the point where now I don't even know what she's even talking about, because she's based. What is she standing 100% on? What are they standing 100% on? And then you went off on some other tangent talking about, like, if that was us, it would have been a whole different story and her mother, but it's not, and let's be thankful that it's not, and this is still our black child. Where do we, how? I'm lost. I'm lost. I'm just going to say 100%. I don't know what she was referring to. I don't know what she's talking about. That was just, I don't even know what that was. I need somebody to translate that for me. I'm 100% serious. I don't know what she was even trying to, like, because it did sound like a threat. Glenn Diesel says she's making, yeah, that's what it sounded like. Like, I'm just highly confused. Like what are you talking about you stepping for? So what, you trying to say that you're going to stand 10 feet for that child, and you're going to stand, and if so what are you saying? So you're saying that if you were there and the kids attacked and then the mother tried to defend herself, which she did, are you saying that you would have stepped directly to the mother and y'all would have beat her, as the three women that you are? You would have beat that woman? You would have put hands and feet directly on her as well, along with those kids, sending her further into that? Like, specifically, this is why I sit up there and tell people, I'm like, yo, this is why everybody should not just be talking on social media. Because if it gets to a point where the mother that was assaulted decides that she wants to get a lawyer, I hope that she sees this video online. I hope she sees this video online, because a lawyer could easily sit up there and say that seems to be a threat, because again, she's not stating what she's talking about, but she's saying that she would stand 10 toes down, and you see the three women here and everybody knows who these women are. How would you be that known? Does that mean that you're known in the streets? Because you're not talking about the corporate world. You're not talking about in an office setting. You're not talking about in a workplace setting. You're not talking about in a college. You're not talking about being an entrepreneur. You're not talking about being somebody positive and that is looked upon highly in a community. So that can only mean one thing, which is negative. Or maybe I'm taking it overboard and too far, as somebody said before, right? I shouldn't be critiquing this because I'm a man. I shouldn't be talking about this, right? Let's continue.
This is still our future. And I will hope that if anybody was to make a mistake, that they was able to come on live in front of a bunch of people that can point and have that thumb point back at them, but can't hold themselves accountable, that you would commend that from a child. It's adults that can't do that. So, Kamira, I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you too.
And we love you. And we going to hold you in accountability with love and with honesty, and we expect that better. Absolutely.
It's not over. You know you owe that lady a debt. You gonna have to make it right with her. Outside of all of this, you got to make it right with that lady and her family, because you took the first hit. Regardless of who you was following, you still did it. Whatever you got to do to make this right, you need to try to do it. Okay?
So we're not gonna make this long and drawn out. We got y'all. We gonna figure out how to get in the field, anti-bully, beat the bully, and just know that it's some real steppers that's gonna be behind this. Whether it come with girl mentorship, youth mentorship, it's gonna be an answer to the problem. Real solutions, not just problems.
No.
And on that, we out.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. No, I'm reading the chat. No, that's pretty much what I said. You said that she's referring to the attacker's mother. No. And that's basically in a sense what I was alluding to. That's what I was pretty much saying. And to me, that don't make any sense. The woman was defending herself versus kids, and she could barely even sit up there and do anything in a broken state that she was, dealing with the health complications that she had. And these kids very much could have easily took the life of this woman because of those health complications. Very easily. And like I said, more than likely, I'm not sure if this was on like Facebook or TikTok or wherever it was, but I'm pretty sure, they're going to monetize this just like all the other mothers are going to do. They're going to, monetize this and make some type of money or whatnot or whatever directly off of this. It's some crazy work. It is a crazy world directly out here. Again, the only thing that I try to do is showcase the nonsense that's out here. I try to showcase the nonsense that is out here so that people are aware. You got parents like this. You got families out here like this that will stand behind these kids no matter what it is that they do, and they will try to lessen the severity of the situation by quote unquote now uplifting these kids. How about y'all would have started this anti-bullying initiative and all of this other type of stuff? Why didn't y'all start this like earlier on before it got to this point? I'm pretty sure you got word at a point in time that your kid was problematic, but you decided to overlook it, or maybe you might have said a few words or whatnot or whatever, but really nothing too serious. Like I said, it's crazy out here. And this is why I try to tell people before, I'm on social media so much that I done seen a lot of y'all kids, and I'm just talking about in general. I done seen a lot of y'all kids filming fights. And I'm talking about, I'm watching girls out here filming fights of other girls fighting girls, of other girls fighting grown women. And again, I can't showcase those videos, but if I were to bring up and talk about those videos, the main common thing that people are going to tell me, like, oh, but Seji, what about the fathers? Go find them. Go let me know who those fathers are. Go have those conversations with the mother. I'm not the mother. I'm not the parent. I don't know who the father is. So stop coming to me asking, where is the father? Go find him. Go search for this man if you really care about the father so much. I can only care about the parent that I see that is specifically there. I'm not worried about stuff that is outside of, that whole situation. That's not even my concern right now. I'm looking at what it is that is there, who it is that is there, and how it is that they are either complicit or how it is that they're trying to rectify the situation so that, things don't stay the same. And I'm not seeing nothing. I'm not seeing nothing at all. Like, that is crazy. Sham said, world star, a whole generation of people doing the very same thing. Yeah. And this is why I try to tell specifically to the women, because again, we've done so many videos. We've talked so many times of black men, young black boys, and all this other type of stuff. But out of all of those times that everybody wants to talk online, how many times do we specifically talk about the black mothers, the black women, the young black women, the black girls out here committing the exact same violence or violent crimes, if not worse? How many times do we really talk about it? We don't. We don't. And if you're a black man, you decide that you want to sit up there and bring this up, you're going to get crucified. You're going to sit up there and get dragged through the mud. You're going to get called everything but the son of God, because people don't want to listen. People just don't want to listen. And again, that was shown earlier today by Brother Tyrone Muhammad when he was trying to speak specifically to the women, and he got to the point he was like, I'm fed up, y'all got it. Like I say, you know, some people that you just can't coach, some people that you just can't teach. You gotta let people just fall off a cliff. You gotta let people figure out if they can fly or not. You gotta let people try to get, you know, close to the sun to see what happens. You gotta let people sit up there and try to figure out if they can drink water like a fish. But like I said, even if you let people find out, mess around and find out, those same people that mess around and found out, they want to turn around and be like, oh, but why didn't you warn me? Why wasn't there somebody to protect me? Or why wasn't somebody putting a fence here so I wouldn't, you know, almost drown? So I wouldn't go over this cliff. That ain't my responsibility. That's yours. Somebody once said that God gave everybody common sense. But obviously, I guess that people found out where that switch was in their mind and they cut off the common sense. So here we are. So now we got a whole bunch of people on social media doing stuff that they don't got no business doing because magically people don't know how to lead themselves. People know not how to be followers. Like it's some crazy work. Now we're just listening to everything towards like peer pressure. We're taking responsibility off of the child and we're going to put the responsibility on peer pressure and we're going to put the responsibility on the community. But we're not going to put the responsibility on any of the women that are clearly in that room. I want people to pay attention to that. Not at one point in time did any of those women say that they are responsible for that young girl's actions. Not one of them. They were like, we're going to hold you accountable, but we're also going to uplift you and talk to you positively at the same time. And this is why stuff never gets fixed. And this is why you got a lot of young girls out here that don't take things serious because there are no real consequences. There's no real consequences. That's crazy. That's 100% diabolical. Like, man, oh man, like this is it's just so tiring. Like I said, it gets to a point where you want to see stuff get better, and then you realize that stuff just ain't gonna get better. And it's no matter how it is that you want to go about the situations to try to hope that corrections, will be either sought or listened directly to. No matter what you do, people are just going to do what people want to do at the end of the day because people just like to complain. If out of all of these videos that people have ever done on social media talking highly and positively to black people and trying to teach them, if people actually listen to those videos, a lot of people, the greater majority of people in the black community would be actually in a better place, would actually be doing better. But nobody realistically, from my line of sight, from what I'm looking at, nobody actually wants to do better because once you're doing better, now you can't complain. That one thing that you're used to doing, the one thing that you can, side by side be in the same room with other people because everybody got complaints, so you can join in too. Now you're in a sense in solitaire. Now you're isolated, right? There's no room, there's no echo chamber that you can go directly into. So because a lot of people are fearful of just being around themselves, being in solitude, and a lot of people need to be in solitude in order to learn about themselves, in order for growth to happen, you got a lot of this going on where people are like, nah, I'm not going to bed. I'm just going to stay right here so I can complain and I can be around other people who got somebody to complain about with, and that we can be in a group of complainers. A lot of people want to stay here because they're afraid of being alone and walking a journey that is only meant for them. Like I said, it's tiring. That's some crazy work. So I do also want to note as well too, the mother, if I go back to one of the clips, let me just play this again because I'm going to let her say it.
These are my only 2 kids right here.
Because you don't have a baby.
I just don't put on Facebook like real that I go through every day in life. I don't.
So again,
these are my only 2 kids.
Let me see if I can get the words.
I'm not pregnant.
Right. So I do want to give that correction because maybe I might have made a title or a video directly about that. And I might have referenced that, quite a few times in either the standalone video or the live stream. The mother herself, who is at the time of that recording, she was in a hospital bed at the hospital after the events that happened. She stated herself that she is not pregnant. So the reason why I'm guessing her stomach was like that was because of her medical condition. So again, she's not pregnant. She never was pregnant. Right. So I just want to give that clarification. I want to sit up there and state that I was wrong on that part of the information because I did not know more than what was shown. So because of that, coming through on a live stream in front of the people that are here, and I'm clearly showing you the clip where the mother herself in a hospital bed is saying that she is not pregnant. Right.
These are my only 2 kids right here.
Because you don't have a baby.
I just don't put on Facebook like real that I go through every day in life. I don't post that on Facebook because people shit myself. I don't even, I don't even got nobody to vent to. I don't got friends. I don't trust nobody. I don't know what it is, what they want to do with my son, but my son is very friendly. Like he not the type that likes to fight. He's not a fighter. Yeah, he okay. He right here. Just smacks him very hard. And because I have my daughter standing in front of me, if I'm with my
So
daughter
again, we
or
got
move
that
and get away, I don't know
clarification. And
what
as the
these
mother
kids trying to
stated, she was
do.
like, I don't really put everything on social media because if you do, people will decide to use that directly against you. And yeah, they will. They will. People, will decide to do a lot of things with a variety of information directly out there. Um, Sham said, yes, sickle cell can cause that bloating. Michael Harvey said, I'm wrong as well. Okay, she is not pregnant. So yeah, like I said, I like to when I can and have the information. I like to actually make corrections so that along with me having the information, the correct information, I want other people to have the correct information because I don't want people to walk around with the wrong information because they got it specifically, from me. So again, my apologies. Um, he's referring to somebody else. I think I saw somebody actually. Glenn Diesel said, I'm a new listener to you. Said you looking forward to more content and debates. You are very up on game and educated. You are, I want to say it's probably like 1,000,000,000%. Not a seller or anything near that realm. And keep going. Hey, much love, respect, and appreciation. Much love, respect, and appreciation. J Lock said there's also more videos about that on his page. Oh, you're talking about somebody else. Okay. But yeah, like I said, that's some diabolical work. And like I told people before, even talking about the instances of situations like this, you will have those out there again, the conservatives, the white folks out there that pull up to the scene and they want to start talking about the situation as if they had anything to do with it, as if they were even a part of it, and they weren't. And again, this is what they happen to do to try to solidify or prove their point. And like I told people before, it don't matter if I decide to, let's say if I had like a Discord, which I do, if I had a Discord and I decided to have the conversation there, and or it don't matter if I decide to do on TikTok, YouTube, wherever it is, it's a conversation that needs to be had no matter how it basically makes black people look. And I get that some people are going to say, well, black people aren't all a monolith. I get that. But the behaviors of the few will, in a sense, cover the many. And a lot of people don't seem to understand that. People always want to talk about I'm an individual. But yet, when you got black people out here doing positive stuff, you're finding out some positive history. Now people want to group themselves in with that positivity. But when it deals with anything negative, anything ugly, people are like, oh, no, leave me far away from that. Me and my family, we don't get down like that. We don't do that. I'm like, all right. But I'm like, you do realize that if you got negative black people out here that travel and the same actions that they perform in the United States, they perform that in other places around the world, that's going to look negative on you as a black traveler. And now you are covered in the filth that they performed, right? No matter if they were arguing, no matter if it was belittlement, don't matter if they were using like slurs against somebody else or whatnot or whatever. Any of that ugliness is not, you're now stepping directly into that. And now you, as a person that you are, has to disprove to the people that have a bad taste in their mouth that you're not the same as the other folks out there. Even though we're not a monolith, even though we're not a group, like I said, the sins of a few will cover the many. Like I said, it's crazy. It is 100% crazy. Brian Jefferson said we're getting played with this argument that's making us blame and fight amongst each other. This is the thing. The only time that you have a fight amongst each other is when people don't want to listen. The moment in time that people are resistant to information that is supposed to either help, protect, or move them forward, that's when you start to have a fight. And it's usually one side that normally wants to sit up there and fight. It doesn't matter if it's, a man or a woman or man. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is the moment in time that somebody comes with information, somebody there is going to be resistant to said information, and that's when an argument and or a fight starts. Right? So in a sense, nobody is actually getting played. People are playing themselves. That's the best way to do it. Like I said, I keep trying to sit up there and tell people there comes to a point in time where you can sit up there and separate some stuff. It's like, yo, at this point in time, we're dealing with Black community stuff. We're not talking about the government. We're not talking about systemic oppression. We're not talking about the jail to prison pipeline. We're not talking about redlining. We're not talking about vagrancy rules or acts. We're not talking about none of that stuff. We're focused on what is here in 2025, what just literally happened a day ago. That's what we're focused on. That's specifically what we're talking about. So, like I said, you got a lot of people, as I showcased when it dealt with Brother Tyrone Muhammad, you got a lot of women out there playing themselves. There's no other way to, sit up there and say it. Pisces Hayes said, we are definitely in different times. These children are different, but I always blame the parents. Tired of the excuses. Children are a direct reflection of their parents. Anomalies, yes, but in general. That is facts. That's facts. Glenn Diesel said, facts, Brewski. Sham said, I see why my dad and my grandmother kept my butt busy at all times. I didn't have time at 14 to be running with a crew. I had to help clean, cook, study, and do all of my work and work part-time. Yo, Wash. What is up? What is up? What is up? He said, I seen an old head cut young dude, told him, go ahead, and got $50. Old head kept drinking his beer, and that's why you don't mess with people, cause you can easily find out. That's facts. That's facts. Yo, Star Child, what is up? You said we can't blame every damn thing on white people. Bars. Brian Jefferson said, kids don't even have fully functioning brains. Parents got to work. Eventually, to me, it's a system issue. Tippy said, like he cares about the Black mothers and her kids. He's just using this to ish on all Black people. Oh, you're talking about the white guy right here? Yeah. Yep. Well, the main thing that he said was he specifically stated that to let other people know why it is that he doesn't, live in or around Black communities, as to basically say that he would be the one that's going to be in the video getting attacked. Like, what are you talking about? Like, yes, this is why I sit up there and saying a lot of instances like white folks be weird. Like, y'all just be coming out of the blue, just trying to make a situation about yourself, and you're not even a part of the situation. Like, why you got to be so weird? Like, worry about like the close to $40 trillion debt that we have in the United States. Worry about that. You're worried about a community which you're not a part of, never been in, that you never lived in. You don't even know anybody from. You probably don't even know any Black people. Just to be real, like I said, this conservative clown that wanted to sit up there and start talking about Black folks, crazy work. Brian Jefferson said funding for the school, opportunities for the parents, and etc. America could prevent a lot of stuff with us. Star Child said we don't get graded on the individuals. Yep. Timothy, what is up? What is up? You said, oh, they are in the garbage range. Use a kid like Jackie Chan uses ladders in these situations. That's crazy. Sham said, it ain't the school's job to parent your child. The problem begins at home and not the schools. Yeah. And that's what brother Tyrone was trying to explain to the women, but they were caught up on the thing that he said, like, stand down, and they wanted to start really raging out and rah rah rah, and really, it was just, man, oh man, it's bad. That's going to be a separate video by itself. Thought y'all said, just like the other guy who had the Mexican girl in his trunk, he is Nigerian. If he was black, they would still be talking about him. Gail said, who bought that child that coat? In the background, they need to take accountability as well too. Yeah, I don't know where she got that coat from. Michelle Harvey, my apologies, I think I said Michael earlier. Michelle Harvey said, this does happen with black people, especially negative stereotypes. Yeah. Brian Jeffrey said, how did we get here and what happened once we got here, Seju? It's all about the government, and this is all directly related. What I'm saying is this. There are certain situations, I get how people say, like, hey, we can parallel, correlate, and all this other type of stuff. Like, let me put it to you like this. There are certain issues within my own life that have zero to do with white people in the government. Like when it deals with, let's say, like relationships or issues with family, that has zero to do with white people, zero to do with the government. So this is why I try to tell a lot of black folks out here, stop trying to say that everything is specifically about systematic oppression, everything is about the government, because it's not. It is not. Like, if you as a guy, right, if a black man out here decides that he wants to deal with the most stereotyped negative parts of black women out here, right, when it deals with the most erratic behavior, when it deals with the overly emotional, when it deals with the violent, always want to sit up there and fight, always starting stuff, putting a man's life in danger. If you as a black man decide to deal with that, you're not going to sit up and say, oh, the white man made me do it. You're not going to be able to say, oh, the government made me do it. It has nothing to do with that. Oh, systematic oppression made me do it. No, it has nothing to do. The Willie Lynch letter made me. No, it has nothing to do with that. You made that choice as a man to deal with those women. You saw the flags, you saw the signs, you saw the blaring lights, and you decided to go past all of that and still deal with those women because I can fix her. And now you done fixed yourself directly in the grave, never to be seen or heard from ever again. So are we going to sit up there and say that too is still the white man's fault? Systematic oppression, the government. Like I said, like, yo, people gotta learn how to separate stuff. People have to learn how to separate stuff. Glenn Diesel said, I was always told that I'm different than the other ones, which is hurtful, but the truth at the same time. I love my people. Oh yeah, I get that. Yeah. I've been told by a variety of black people that I sound white at certain times in my life, and a variety of other things. And I'm like, what does that even mean? I'm like, I don't even get that. It's like I'm talking the exact same way that everybody else talks. Oh, so what? Because at times I'll pronunciate or pronounce whatever. Like I said, I got to the point in time that I got so tired of like black people saying stuff that I just started messing up on everything on purpose. Like I said, people going to critique me any which way it goes. Let me just do it on my own terms. So, I just got to that point. So shout out to the folks out there that always spot the typos and different things of that nature. Like it'd be like that. You just get to the point where it's just like, I don't care no more. Let me write this out. Let me speak this way. Let me say it this way. Because no matter what I sit up there and do, and again, I've been doing this for a long time, I'm always going to be, critiqued, and people are always going to sit up there and list something as a negative or an issue or whatnot or whatever. So, like I said, it's, I get you. I understand. Glenn Diesel said, my people keep holding themselves down. Timothy said, them brains would be margarita mix at this point. Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Peggy Baker said, to thine own self be true. Sham said, our parents had to be I'm sorry. You said our parents had that same government down their backs, if not worse, and they didn't have this problem. Our generation been facing this, and yet our kids are garbage. Pisces Hayes said, we all lived in America our entire lives. We know how the country works. At least try to manage the children that come out of your womb. Can't keep blaming others. That is facts. Because I put it to you like this, going back to what you said, my mom at never point at okay. At no point in time, as my mother, as a black American woman, at no point in time has my mother ever blamed my father for anything. Let me just repeat that again. My mom, as a Black American woman, at no point in time has ever blamed my father for anything. She ain't never within earshot around me or whatnot, whatever, ever talked negative about my father at all. When I met him, she allowed me meeting him be my own experience and let me see for myself versus whatever her experience was. And I've been honest and I've talked about this in a variety of live streams and videos. And I try to tell a lot of Black women out here, I'm like, yo, whatever disagreement you got with that man, that's cool. That's y'all relationship, right? That's how you know that man. How that man appears to those kids is going to be vastly different. They're going to get a whole different side to that man that you would never see because you're not that child. So allow those kids, allow those children to have that interaction. If he still is the same person, then let them sit up and see that. If he's not that same person, don't impede on that. Don't impede on that. Don't try to stop that from occurring because you don't like the fact that, oh, well, he seems different from, when me and him have conversations in our relationship. Like, why does he have such a, because it's y'all. Y'all got history. Y'all got emotions. Right? So I don't know. Like I said, shout out to my mom. Shout out to my mom. Forgiveness said they see it in a defensive mode all the time. Just want to be blind, shooting out emotions. Yeah. It's not a do said, bruh. It's a problem. Who cares who calls it out? Black folks will tell you about Black folks. Why y'all act like when anybody speaks about Blacks, they hate? I'm a little bit confused. I don't know who I'm not for grown adults directly in a room. When I happen to see some stuff where I feel as though that people are talking directly to me, and you trying to say something real slick, I need you to use the app button. I'm pretty sure that for the last 20 something years, you know how to text message, you know what the app button directly is, you know where it's located on your cell phone. I know the greater majority of people on here are using a cell phone at this moment in time because I have the vertical along with having the other version directly up as well too, depending on what people like to watch. I need you to use the app button. It's a very simple thing that I tell people to use every single time. I've had to say this 9,999 times to grown adults. I'm not exactly too sure why it is that people still can't get this, but if you're going to sit up there and say something and it's really directed towards me, you're trying to be slick about it, make sure you put the app button respectfully. That's all I'm saying, right? We all got our frontal lobes developed, right? Use the app button. Sham said, it's a home issue. Too many people having kids that don't want them and can't invest care in them. Tippy said, Black people don't attack white people, though. Unfortunately, Black people attack other Black people. So why are white people scared? That is facts. It's a great point, Tippy. Great point. JCD said, disconnecting the hood, the old heads, and 4 of them will chase you off the block because you was making it hot. Yep. Lindiza said, white people hate us but love our culture, but are envious because theirs is a story of hate and genocide. Also, the use of the church to go after children. Brian Jeffrey said, I disagree with that. Your entire existence is entirely due to history. To the history, all of us. It's why we're here. Literally, okay, whatever you said. When David said this has nothing to do with white people. Was it JCD is agreeing with Brian? Timothy said sometimes you got to put the fear of God into these kids, and what better way than trying kids to each other, their legs and arms. Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Timothy said majority of societal problems are the fault of white people, but in this particular case, it's Black parents. Let me see. What was it? Glenn said these guys simp on women that don't even like them. Sam said, even if history is why we're here, it doesn't change. Our old heads doesn't have this issue like we do now. Yes, outside forces influence it, but the root is it. It's a home problem. Gail said, I guess my man said you better not be talking ignorant. I like my men's proper. That's crazy. Brian Jeffrey said that's falling for the okie doke because us fighting and blaming each other when they control the resources and the policies that frustrate us and sets us up to fail. United we stand, divided we fall. This is what I would like to say, right? All right, so for Brian Jeffries, right? I have the task that nobody put me up to this task. I built this task specifically for myself, right? So what I need you to do is go directly after those resources, right? If you're saying that we're pretty much in this whole area of like this divide and conquer, whatnot, or whatever, right? Separate yourself from this box and be the solution to getting those resources and the things that black people need, right? You got people that are meant for every single task. I'm doing a task that I basically created myself. Nobody gave me a platform, nobody made this for me. I did this directly, as a lot of people would like to say, from the mud, from the ground up. This was not given, it was built. Blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of arguments, a lot of emotions going directly into this, a lot of losses. So what I need you to sit up there and do, because I see a lot of other guys that like to pull up to the scene talking about like, yo, well, we need to sit up there. What I need y'all to sit up there and do, since y'all the ones that say that y'all basically see where certain things are and how it needs to. I need y'all, that should be the task for y'all to sit up there and do. That's what I need y'all to do, because I've always had guys coming up here telling me like, "Oh, you got a platform and you this and you create your platform." The same way I'm like, I'm a nobody. No, nobody know me about here. I am a nobody about here. So the same way that a nobody can create something so that a few people can know them, you can do the exact same thing too. You can go out there, start doing the footwork. You can go out there and get on TikTok and hurry up and get famous. Make some viral videos, some great catches, and get the eyes and the attention of a lot of folks directly out there. And you can start building your platform, building your support, and building the grassroots thing that you need, so that you can get a lot of the things that you say that we need. It's a little bit irritating when people want to try to frame it as if the person talking needs to be the one to do it, but yet the people that are talking ain't the ones really doing it themselves, even though they're the ones supposedly pointing out the issue and the problem. That's some crazy work. Sham said people out here wilding out and they have children that they don't want. Those throwaway children are treated the worst and they grow up being unwanted. That is why we have this issue. That is bars. She does it, said facts. Glenn Diesel said, I get criticized frequently from black people for being educated, and a lot of black women won't date me because I'm educated and don't do hood-ish and can support myself. It's considered a negative. This is the thing I would sit up there and tell you. They have other areas of which that I even found out about. They have other places of which educated black people go. Both black men and black women, they go. They got meet and greets. They have these type of soirees or whatever it is that you want to call it. Like let's say for STEM or different things of that nature, where people go there for business and they go there to potentially find somebody that would match up with them, that are within the same thing. Maybe the person might be in government. Maybe the person might be in STEM, science. Maybe the person might be in medical or business or law, right? They have different areas and avenues of which educated black people can go. You don't have to go to the basic everyday, thing. You're not going to find what it is. I'm going to tell you, you're not going to find what it is that you're looking for when it deals with a black woman. You're not going to be able to go to the every day and just find the black woman that's going to fit you. You have to go to very specific areas to meet up with well-to-do black women that are directly out there, well-to-do, educated, black women, right? So like I said, all I'm saying is don't give up. Just search some other places directly out there and you will be able to find what it is that you're looking for. Sham said the government don't make you pump out unwanted kids. That's your choice in life. Rather than be responsible, too many parents still try to party, still trying to be wild is even worse. And I've talked about that as well, where you got moms out here that are like 20 something. They out here just like popping out kids and they're like, I'm still want to live my best life. I'm still youthful. I'm still young. And they out here at the club twerking, dancing on tables, taking trips while the grandparents or the aunts got to watch their kids. That's crazy to me. Be a mother. If you want us to go out there and travel, stop going out there and having unprotected relations with dudes because you think that they are the most attractive ones because you find the negative traits about them attractive. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. It'd be like that. Pisces Hayes said, I don't know why people say sounding white. That's literally a slight to black people, as if we're dumb and can't speak correctly. It'd be like that. Tippy said, because those people who speak on black issues who are not black are hypocrites. They need to call out their own people and their mess. That is facts. That is facts. Timothy said, knowing black history, this can be considered white folks' fault too. Glenn said, and I'm 100% not taking sloppy seconds, thirds, or fourths. Gotcha. Peggy Baker says, sorry, there's a huge opportunity for more voices to be heard because of the internet. Reach out to your community. Wait, I'm a little bit confused. I mean, I'm I'm just gonna leave it as is because I think I get the message that you're specifically stating. Maybe that was just like a generalized thing that you were saying. I got you. No problem. Brian Jeffries said that political policies require grassroots funding and political parties that can be co-opted. I understand you're a social media content creator. What I'm basically saying is that for my years of basically doing this, I've had fields of black men and others in the community pull up to the scene and state that I should do a variety of things. And I'm like, that's easy to say when, somebody is doing this, but I'm like, you could easily do it yourself without all of the lights, right? Because if I decide to sit up there and do something, again, I'm a content creator. So I'm going to, in my mind, I'm like, let me sit up there and record this or film this because if there's something positive happening going on in the black community, I want that positiveness, that energy to proliferate throughout the black community, right? To move the negativity directly out and to make way for a lot of positive stuff so that hopefully that positivity is contagious and that it will ensnare and capture other people so that people will actually start to copycat that versus the negative stuff out here, right? But then people will look at it as like, oh, well, you're just doing this for content. You're just doing this for money. You're not really doing it because you actually care about the black community and da da da. Right. So I got to deal with all of that scrutiny and it not being real. Versus all of the other people that want me to do stuff, they can do this without the cameras. It's going to be grassroots. Nobody's going to be able to basically try to question or give a hypothetical on why it is that you're doing it because they don't know nothing about you. Right? They can't even really make a theory. They just have to go off of the actions. They have to go off the words. They have to go off of the meet and greets and things of that nature. It's not that difficult for black people to actually do. It's the fact that a lot of black people don't want to do it. A lot of black people say that, things need to be done in the black community, but those same black people pointing it out are not the ones that want to be responsible for it. Because a lot of people don't want to be responsible for failure. They don't want to be responsible if something does not come through, if a promise is broken. They don't want to deal with that huge responsibility. Like I said, crazy work out here. Crazy work. Pisces said, I went up, excuse me, I went up on a panel a few months ago and a white girl in the chat said I sounded white. Why? Because I enunciate and read. I like to speak with proper grammar. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Sam said, yes, man is not a good man. Love doesn't come from making people feel good about themselves. Love comes from honesty. Me being honest to my friends about the wrong that they do is unity, not division. That's facts. That's facts. Peggy Baker said, God bless you all. Brian said, it is our collective task. If we agree that a course of action makes sense, you have a platform, and that is enough. You said, I haven't done that, or I haven't done that. You have. I'm a commentator. You also said, I'm contributing to the conversation like any other person. I believe I have a good argument, and that blaming little kids or oppressed parents are crazy. I'm trying to. You also said, good teachers can also help students do extra curriculars that impede gang violence and after school. But the crazy part is, I've listed earlier, like maybe you wasn't here, or any other videos that I've done, I've listed how positive male black role models have impacted my life. And I've stated, how those are actual good things, but I also stated at the same time that you will have parents or women that will push those positive black role models away. And that happens. But it's like nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to bring that up. People want to keep talking about that there's no good black men out here. There are no black fathers out here. Black men don't want to, be stepfathers and all this other type of stuff and whatnot or whatever. But you got good, well-to-do black dudes out here that are willing to give people a chance. But it's like once it gets a little bit too close, then people start moving away, right? I put it to you like this, just going from personal experience. Um, you got a lot of women that don't want to talk about the fact that when it comes to a point in time where there's a decent black guy out there that they can't really pick apart, those women are now forced to look at their imperfections and how it is that they need to actually grow up in order to match, to be directly there on that same page as that guy. And you have a lot of women out here that are like, "Ooh, that's a lot of work. I'm scared of doing that. I'm not actually going to do that." And instead of doing that, they're like, "I'm going to push you away. I'm going to cause and bring up a problem to push you away." And that same black man that they're basically pushing away that could have been beneficial would have also been beneficial to that child that was in that relationship. But you got a lot of people that don't want to pay attention. You got a lot of people that think that they know what is best specifically for them. And this is how we come to live streams and videos like this, where I showcase videos of mothers with violent kids that are going out here attacking their elders. So, uh Glendale said that's good to know. Said I wasn't educated in that avenue. Sham said, I'm retired. I've done it already. It's not as easy as you think. The problem in the black community is not so simple as throwing money on it. Getting government involved makes it even worse. She does it said facts that grandma had sixth grade education and trained and raised a family. Stanford Taylor said, tell the truth, good brother. Pisces said, at Seji, you have to be selective on where you spend your time. Yeah, that's true. That's true, and that's the exact same way that I try to tell people that go out there and look for relationships. You have to have intent, and also have to be very specific, because it's not that other people are wasting your time. You're wasting your own time, right? So you got a lot of black people out here that are deciding that they want to sit up and say that other people are wasting their time, but realistically it's you, because you as that black person decided to stand in that place, wasting your own time. Nobody forced you to be there. Nobody coerced you to be there. You walked directly into that square, and now you're a time waster, right? Cham said, having school policies and train a child makes it worse. It cannot replace a parent. This is why so many foster children grow up with issues. Your solution does not work. Brian said, I'm not asking for you specifically to do anything, but see reason in the argument if it exists in it. No, like I said, I get what you're saying. I get, like I said, I'm reading all your comments. I get what it is specifically, that you're saying. I'm using your comment that you listed as a jump off point for the other comments that I've basically gotten directly from, guys out here whenever it is that either I've done a live stream or that I've done videos, right? So like I said, I get what it is you're saying. Sham said the reason why the solution doesn't work, from what I know, is that you need good parents to make it work. You need good teachers, good adults, and etc. Too reliant on outside forces when in home has the problem. Brian Jeffrey said the media machine is powerful, and the music and the imagery and the movies, it's bigger than all of us. We're not going to stop watching TV and movies and radio. I mean, this is all true, right? Those are like very large monstrosities. Those are basically colossi, right? Gaiaka, right? Large Godzillas, directly out here. Cool, got it. But also at the same time, right? Again, I was raised in a single parent household. Because of the way that I was raised, I did not automatically get indoctrinated by way of rap music. I didn't get indoctrinated by way of the movies and the media that is directly, out there, right? That is polluting the minds of a lot of other folks. And also, I want to note that this is not me trying to say that I'm better than anybody else, because I recently had a conversation with somebody, and they tried to make it seem like I either feel that or that I try to put out that I'm better than other people, and that's never what I've ever tried to put on at all. This is why I say that I'm on the same level as any other men out here. I'm not above or below, but I'm at the exact same level. So if I'm at the exact same level, we can all, as men, see the exact same problem, right? So again, but the main thing that I'm trying to convey and say before I lose my point is that because of the teachings in my home, I was never affected by any of the music or the media directly out here. That did not impede on my growth or formulate into me committing any types of crimes or violence towards my own people or my community. Right. Glenn Diesel said immigrants definitely do adopt American racism and white culture before learning about the people of color here. They believe it's acceptable and correct to adopt white culture to become included, right? Brian Jeffrey said it has to be a code of behavior that fixes it, similar to how Neely Fuller Jr. wrote. Brian said not necessarily his code, but just morals towards each other. Sham said our parents had raunchy, violent music, but they understood that is just entertainment, not a reflection of life. The newer generation's music has changed to expression and representation. That is true. That's a very good point. Before, when it deals with like our parents' music, it was more so like a show and play. You know, it was a show and play type of thing, but it wasn't indicative of real life. But now, when you look at the music of a lot of these young folks, right? Like, what was the dude's name that I covered before, Baby Kia, whatnot, or whatever. He was talking about that just basically like killing somebody. He was just talking about pure violence directly out of like one of the videos that I covered before. I might even still have the video on my IG. And I'm like, that's insane to me. Like, that's crazy. But I'm like, this is what sells because this is the reality for those young folks out here. Like, I guess this is what they see every day. This is what they're a part of every single day. This is what they hear about every single day. So their art is actually imitating life, and life is imitating in the art, and so on and so on. Brian Jefferson said, "This is my first video of yours, so yes." Timothy said, "Some sickle victims say that it's like every movement of breathing feels like burning glass in their bodies." Man, that's tough. Brian Jefferson said, "That's what Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj, Sweetie, and TikTok as a whole platform told them to think." Sham said, "I'm speaking of experience as an activist. The fix is not as easy as you think." Brian Jefferson said, "Funded and promoted and FYP selected by people who do not look like you." Brian said, "The record companies, movie companies, TV, and etc., and even black creators, uh, wait, thought their handlers and sorry, through their handlers and advisors, steer our culture to be the way that it is." Henry Locke said this video was awful. I mean, if you're talking about the actual like video, yeah, that was tough. Yo, that guy from Texas, what is up? What is up? You said there are a lot of black women who don't want a black man with high self-esteem. Glenn Diesel said the video was crazy. Sham said, "Well, that is the American culture, is to steer everyone towards being individualist. On top of that, a push to be wealthy by stepping on others to do so. It used to be the black family fought against this." Glenn Diesel said that Rush Hour reference fire. Sham said the American ideology is the ideology that used black lives to make wealth in horrible ways. It used to be the black family was against the American culture. We have our own culture. This is facts. Sham also said then you had a huge culture shift because of drugs, music, wealth, and education. The push for family to stay together dies out, and the home family suffers. Tippy said, "Rap is trash today, and some R&B today is trash. I listen to Vanguard's Feeling the Fire." Tippy, the old soul. Glenn said, "I say that grown up in a diverse university, diverse university community in Utah, that was all immigrants and natives. We never fell for the trap because we would all share food and have culture weeks for everyone." Tippy said, "My mistake. That's the Vanguards. Somebody please." It'd be like that, Tippy, that autocorrect. It'd be like that. Sham said, "What I have experienced and found is that the solution to this is not more government. School is still government. The solution to this has always been strengthening the Black family. Bars. So now I've actually officially caught up to every single comment directly up there. I think I've been reading for about a good 30 minutes. Good 30 minutes. But yeah, man, like I said, it's 100% tough out here. It is very, very tough directly out here. And for me, I want things to specifically get better. And at a point in time, things will. But if we get to a point in time where people are still being argumentative and they don't really want to listen to the words that somebody else has to say when they're trying to do it for the best interest of them, and they're trying to protect them, and they're trying to stand in front and take all of the blows, right, so that they are fine and they're capable of walking, it's pretty much over. And like I said before, there's a lot of things directly there. Now going into the normal, conversation and the things that we've covered before, when I've talked about the fact that you have the whole thing of the feminism ideology and how that broke apart families, and government broke apart families and things of that nature. So again, I like to sit up there and keep things separate, because a lot of times Black people need to understand what it is that they contribute to in every single facet and way, versus trying to scapegoat and goalpost and move stuff around to, put the weight directly on somebody else, when realistically you should be looking at yourself in the mirror, right? And then on the other side of that, again, I do see where a lot of things happen, where a lot of other things come directly in that are from outside sources beyond our power and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, I see it. But in order for us to really attack a larger situation that's bigger than us, we have to look at and attack the situations of which that we contribute to, that we are at fault directly for, that we need to take acceptance, responsibility, and that we need to acknowledge that, yo, I messed up. Let me start from ground zero and let me push my way forward. Let me actually shut up and let somebody else talk. Let me be calm and logical and not be so emotional and reactive. Right? Glenn Diesel said, "Thanks for engaging with your followers." No problem. That's what I normally try to do, depending on the live stream. So it's a work in progress. Work in progress. Let me tell you. The guy from Texas said music these days is a part of MK Ultra programming. Sham says strengthening the Black family means whether poor or rich, the family has moral and honor and love to stay together and raise up a name for themselves. Bars. Glenn Diesel said, thanks. Oh, yeah, I wrote that. I'm sorry. D Money in the building said it only took Seji 25 minutes to catch up with the chat. Okay, so I felt like it was 30. D Money was like, actually, no, Seji, you're off by like 5 minutes. It actually took you 25. Shout out to D Money. Shout out to D Money. Tippy said, I'm young with an old soul. I listen to old people music from the 60s, 50s, and pretty much everything else in the 2000s. LOL. D Money said that music, is that the music your personal maid will listen to? This man is hilarious. Timothy said, I like show tunes and musicals. My favorite is West Side Story, but rap has been letting me down for a while. We got Ty in the building. What is up? What is up? You said, I'm here, but I'm not here, still at work, but can listen. What is up, Ty? What is up? What is up? What is up? Gail said, my man Sigi is a genius. That's why I love him. Oh my goodness, this woman. Dear Lord. Tippy said, LOL, I don't have a maid. I do my own cleaning. No, Tippy got a maid. That woman is rich. She's like, she up there like Richie Rich. I swear to goodness. Brian Jeffrey said, I agree. Each person has a contribution to a specific social group. No one person is changing everything. I think the best any individual could do is stay focused on solutions exclusively. I got you. I do agree with that. And like I said, I've tried to like frame my wording. I've tried to be very careful with wording. I've even tried to go through the dictionary, use other words. But even if you have a solution, the solution, in order for it to be a solution, people have to actually be willing to not only listen, but also work and walk within that action. The moment in time that you don't have any of those things happening, you don't have a solution. The solution is not viable. In order for anything to be viable, you have to, have a receiver. Something has to be open enough in order for that solution or whatever it is to be active, for it to work. you know but it's a working it's a work in progress. D Money said Tippy as a handmaiden. Sham said y'all all on the other channel and I'm by myself. Miss Doltry, what is up? What's up? He says, Seji, it's not all men's fault. Why they're not in their kids' life. These women need to take accountability for why they are disrespectful. Yeah, and that's what I try to say. And this is why I've brought up they won't even let me highlight your comment here for some reason. Okay, there we go. Let me see. I guess it just froze. Okay, yeah, I guess that's probably what happened. It just froze on something. Matter of fact, let me just make sure that I don't really got extra stuff running in the background. Let me just bring some of this stuff down real quick. Let me see. Clips, museum, it's a billionaire, Cardinals player. Okay, we're gonna do that. Okay, yeah, now it's kind of calming down. Yep. So that was technically it. Just had a lot of stuff running on Opera at the moment, even though it's technically it's picking back up, which is a little bit insane. Gonna try to close a few more things out here so it's less of an issue. Anyways, what was that? Yeah. Exactly what Miss Daltrey basically stated, and I've tried to state to a lot of people that no matter how I basically slice it, no matter how I talk, and if I do have a solution, it's like people don't want to listen, and people are like, well, it's the men, it's the men, it's the men, it's the men, it's the men. But I'm like, dog, how many times are you going to keep saying this and expect like a different outcome? Like I said, for me, looking at a lot of women always blame men is weird to me because that's not anything that my mom ever did. She never set up to it's a man's fault that we ended up in this situation. It's a man's fault we don't have the money. It's a man's fault you're not, you don't we don't got the money for this, or you can't go on this field trip. But it's the man. I never like that's just it's weird language to me. And it's like I'm not sure who taught a lot of women out here to just place responsibility on somebody else versus themselves. But like I said, that's weird to me. Like I said, look, for me, I don't understand. Brian said that's not a critique of you either. I'm just telling you what to do. I'm talking in general. I got you. Mahoko said, I'm very sorry to hear the news of the mother and two kids. I hope Chicago can start tackling the issue such as this one. Yeah, that was the one positive part directly out. You had a lot of folks that pulled directly up. There was another video, I didn't actually put it up here, but there was a video where a group of the people there, the protesters, pulled up to one of the mothers' homes, and it was stated that one of the mothers is a squatter. And I think she has 5 kids. So she's squatting somewhere again where she's not supposed to be, and she has 5 kids. And I'm like, that's crazy. And people were sitting up there saying that the community there was completely fine up until that woman moved back with her kids, because that same woman also lived with her grandmother or her mother, right? And then those kids, I guess, or whoever there, because somebody was smoking, they got the house or apartment burnt down or caused fire damage or something. So this is why I try to sit up there and say, is like, yo, people got to start taking responsibility. Ms. Dolce says some of these men want to be in their children's lives. Yep. Brian Jeffrey said, yes, and someone else being dysfunctional is not a reason to derail our own constructive behaviors. Sam said, I do want to say that I get tired of people saying that this is black culture. No, this is American culture. This happens in poor communities across the nation, no matter the race. Tippy said, I don't have a maid. I'm not rich. I'm not a racist. I'm shocked. I didn't call out these little. Obviously, we're not going to read the rest of that comment. Didn't call out the rest of these kids for shopping this month. Dear Lord, Tippy said, Tippy trying to be stingy with her media services. Brian Jeffrey said being highlighted for National Security Presidential Memorandum 7. Timothy said poor display of black community is the white folks' fault because they created the lineage of dysfunction. Ms. Dolce said, right. Mahoko said, damn, really? Yeah, that's a direct reflection of on the kids then. Timothy said, damn, sickle cell with 5 kids. No. Timothy. No. Not the right. The mother with sickle cell. I'm not talking about her. That mother, she only has like 2 kids. I'm talking about one of the female parents of the kids who attacked the mother with sickle cell. That woman, right? That woman decided to squat. She's a squatter, right? She don't really have nothing. And she also has 5 kids. So it's like that's why I keep saying it's like it's crazy to know the fact that you as a woman can barely take care of yourself, but you keep making kids. How does that make sense? And it's like, how do you have to squat if you got 5 kids? Shouldn't you be getting like thousands of dollars in checks for kids from the government, taxes and all that? Like it's something. So the math is not mathing. The math is not. If you got 5 kids, there's multiple women out here on TikTok that talk about how many kids that they got and how much money they get from the government. The math is not specifically mathing when it deals with a woman with 5 kids squatting. It's like if you're squatting for a living, you don't need to have kids. You need to give those kids up to the family or give those kids specifically to the father. But obviously, she's hanging on to those kids because there has to be some type of money involved. There has to be some type of money involved. Gail said one solution to having kids is to stop giving epidurals, let them feel every single contraction. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, pain is a very great teacher. Mahoko said, "Oh, and by the way, the guy you posted, screen cap was a typical WS. He can kick rocks. His own or his own guy committed fraud, claiming a bear attacked him. Oh, that's crazy." Yo, that guy from Texas, what is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. And thank you for the $5 dono to the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Sham said, no, Chicago ended their welfare. You can only get it for 2 years, and that's it. After that, you can get food stamps, but not welfare. Ah, okay. Oh, well, that woman better sit up there and find a job. She better find a job real quick. She better figure something out. Like I said, and like somebody else stated directly in that video. I may just bring that up in like a solo video. But a woman stated that it don't make, and this is a black woman stating this. She was like, it don't make no sense how you're out here struggling when they have a variety of resources for women, especially women with kids. You shouldn't be struggling. And she's 1,000% correct. That's what I don't understand when I always hear women out here talking about it's hard for them and they struggling. How? They don't have programs out here. I know black men out here that are single fathers. They don't have programs for them. There is no monies being given to them. There is no help for them at all. It's either you make it or you don't. When it deals with women out here, there's tons of monies, there's tons of programs, there's tons of people out here to help. Matter of fact, you got single women out here that have gone online crying about their situation, and people donated money. I'm talking about thousands of dollars. Men can't do that. So again, to hear women talking about that they're struggling how? That sounds like money mismanagement or something. Like you just spending money or whatnot or whatever on the wrong things. Again, shout out to that guy from Texas for the $5 dono. Timothy said she birthed potential investments. One of them got to make it 1 in 5 chances. That's cold-blooded. That's cold-blooded. That guy from Texas said, oh, responding again, my bad. Sham said Wisconsin adopted the same rules, so by the time her second child is born or third, the welfare is drying up. The wait list for homes is very long as well. So it explains why she is squatting. Mm, mm. She better go out there and find a job. Like I said, I keep trying to tell people, like, yo, if it's hard enough for you as an adult right now, why would you make it, 9 times harder on yourself by having kids? And then why would you make your child's life harder on them by bringing them into a life of, like, it just don't make any type of sense. Like, it literally makes, nobody can make it make sense to me. If your life is hard already as an adult, why sit up there and bring a child into this world and have them burden the same struggle or hardships that you're going through? Why? That, for me, that's a failure on the parent. It's like, don't do that. Like, do not do that. It's cold blooded. Like, man, oh man. D Money said also happy International Men's Day. I didn't even know that. Happy International Men's Day to all the guys out there. Much respect and appreciation. Sham said, I do know that Chicago does have job programs and free daycare. She can get a job and have someone take care of her kids. There is emergency housing too. And that's what I'm saying. Like, for a lot of women saying that they always struggle, I'm like, how? Like, I've never heard of these programs for men. And again, like I said, I know personally a black man who is a single father. He don't got no help from other of the kids or nothing like that. He's doing that. Going out here, finding jobs, working jobs, doing all of these things, helping the kid with the homework, sitting up there, raising, putting him to bed, helping him with his homework. He's doing all of that. They're and to sit up there and even get anything from those programs because they're like, well, you're a man, so you should be able to just make something happen. Where it's women, they're like, oh my God, you're struggling so much. You have all of these kids. God. Like I said, crazy work. Of course, $1 million is an exaggeration, but you get what I'm saying. You got women out here getting an exorbitant amount of money, being on government assistance, right? You got women out here on shambles, 100% in shambles, diabolical in nature. Sham said there are even CNA training programs down there for free, but about $50. She has ways to get out of this problem. Brian Jefferson says start being too constructive and they're going to interfere the stream. I mean, it'd be like that. I really feel like it's just more so happening on my end. In a sense. Little live chat. You say I can actually like some of these comments here. So let me see. Go funding super highlighted members and chats. I think, do I have to go to, let me see. They said limit disruptions for channel members, automated. Okay. But I thought, wait, what channel? What am I looking at? Thought that was already on. Okay, that's a little bit weird. So now, hold on, let me try to go directly through. Running, where is the normal? I think this is the one. I'm just trying to make sure because I want to actually not highlight, but go through and like the what's names, engage with your audience. I'm just, my bad, just don't mind me. I'm sitting up here looking through some of the things there. Obviously, I've noticed that interruptions will happen, or different things of that nature. So yeah, you are correct, but that comes part of course. You just got to deal with it when it comes up and when it happens, and work directly through it. This is why I sit up here and tell people much love, respect, and appreciation. And shout out to all the support that I get. Shout out to any subscribers, new subscribers, potential subscribers. Shout out to anybody who has donated by way of bits, which is a new form that we have enabled directly on the platform. By anybody who has donated by way of the super chat, or even like super, I guess you could say super comments on the standard issued videos where you make like highlighted comments and things of that nature. Shout out to a lot of y'all out there. Shout out to the members. Shout out to the patrons. Shout out to anybody who's donated also by way of Cash App. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Every little bit helps. And again, y'all are the reason that I'm able to do everything that I'm able to do every single day. Also to note at this moment in time, because I like dealing directly with numbers. If I go to the live stream, I want to say, if I gotta look at one, what is this, the vertical? Yeah, so hey, shout out to Gail. Oh, they won't let me actually like your what's the name, because you did 10 jewels. Shout out to Gail. Much love, Gail. Gail sitting up here you know donating to the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation, Gail. Much love, much love, much love. I forgot I was about to say something, Gail, and I forgot. It just like it slipped my mind real quick. But so far at this moment in time, we have actually had a solid 20K that pulled up to the live stream. You'll probably see it after the live stream is said and done. Because right now at this moment we've been going for about a good 3 hours, which it doesn't feel like it. Since I've actually been sitting here, it doesn't really feel like 3 hours, which is actually pretty dope. But I will also say, for a lot of other folks out there, for a lot of the people that happen to follow, a lot of my moderators and things of that nature, again, let me know when y'all got some stuff going, and I'll highlight it directly on on the channel. That's my way of giving you guys thanks, and and trying to do my best to show love and support for everything that you guys happen to do, things of that nature. Looking at the activity, what is this? Is this the long form? Okay, this is the other one, horizontal. On that one we had about like 432 views. Okay, like I said, it's not bad. It is not bad, not bad, not bad. I wish it would just tell me all of the funniest. Oh, the other thing too, Sham, that I remember you would talk about, channel that was running. That's the thing. Only had one channel running, but we got two different chats. Sham said, I mean, my job was to connect people to help men have some help, but I think it's not known. I mean, that's a good point, because like I said before, to me, it seemed, from my point of view, it seems as though that there's really no help. There's no type of sympathy or empathy for men out here, especially Black men who are single fathers. But you have actually worked in those areas, dealing with the communities and connecting people. So you have more insight than I do. D Money said thanks. I think that's what that is, the hands. Sham said, so you can get resume services, job training, and job loans. There's also programs for homeless. It's a bit harder to get men help, though. I remember being up late trying to research aid for men. Yeah, they try to make it pretty much near to impossible. Yo, Third Eye, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? Okay, so that's dope. So they actually tell me who's on vertical and who's not. Okay, that's dope. Gail said, oh wait, Sham said Gail is the first wife. Yo, Wild Williams, what is up? What is up? What is up? Said Yo Hito, what is up, Williams? What is going on? Third Eye said, I'm mad late. It be like that, man. It happens. Normally Oh, due to racism. Oh, that's crazy. I'm not sure who. I mean, it's sad that that happened. Because there's a black girl that I'm subscribed to on Patreon, and she does artwork where she pretty much redraws certain anime or whatnot or whatever in pretty much her image. And the main thing that she would always get, and I went through her Twitter, and the main thing that she would get a lot of this racism and hatred, specifically from white folks, right? And then number two, from other folks out there, when it deals with her reimagining and drawing the animations pretty much in her image. And I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, so out of all the places that you can go on social media, you're going to an artist that draws the artwork in her image, and you want to say that she's problematic? That's crazy. So I'm like, no, I'm about to throw some money down to support you. I'm like, we're not doing that. She has a YouTube channel and things of that nature as well too. I actually covered her story and her platform in some videos years ago. Years ago. But yeah, I'll try to look that up, and I'll do a video on that as long as I can keep that directly in memory. While Williams said E for everyone. Hack said at the other mods, anyone play TCGP? I think does anybody else play any trading card games? I'm not actually sure. I'm not actually sure. I think I want to say we should. We might have some mods that do play some some trading card games. Not sure. Not sure. Not sure. Moko said I made sure to join Black Anything groups all over social media. Yeah. Yeah, I think I was doing that at one point in time. And then I forgot about it. I made sure to do that on Xbox, and I was looking at somebody, they had a large gathering of people on Xbox, and I'm like, dude, with the amount of people that you got here, you legitimately could have a platform. I'm like, you could just put your social media directly up here and have a platform, but a lot of people don't make moves, especially at the height of certain things. I'm at fault for doing things of that nature, but that was also because of lack of knowledge. So that led to failure in a lot of areas. So this is why I try to tell people when it deals with social media, I try to tell them and get them to move differently than I did, so that once everything gets rolling, you got everything specifically there, and dragging along with you as you're moving forward, right? Instead of trying to like catch up when you're at the halfway point, right? We got Hack. Shout out, much love, respect, and appreciation for the $2 donor. I think I'm pretty much hungry at this moment in time. So that's probably where I'm at right now with my mind and whatnot. But yeah, we've been going for about a good 3 hours and 12 minutes. Shout out to any and all folks out here that have been a part of the live stream. You will be able to replay the live stream. So if you like this in the horizontal or vertical, we got both formats directly up there for you, whichever one basically suits or benefits your taste and or your needs. The videos and things that we went specifically over, I will have that in a single form, shorter, digestible video directly for you. So just in case you ain't trying to really go through a good 3, 4, 5 hour video, whichever one that we just so happen to have, you can just so happen to do that at your own leisure. D Money said the McRib is back. The guy from Texas said, "Get IHOP like me." I gotta wait to sit up there and get that. Let me tell you, I gotta wait. I gotta wait. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We are going to do that though. I don't think I ever had a McRib. I don't think I did. I don't think I ever actually had a McRib. I've eaten other things on the menu, but not a McRib from what I can remember though. Sham said soup tonight for me. I am cold. Yeah, it's cold everywhere. Like at the moment in time that I'm pretty much done looking for information and putting together videos, I'll sit there, I'll be in front of the TV relaxing, and then my feet are just cold. I'm like, and my hands are cold. I'm like, yo, I'm on the game and I'm moving my hands around. My hands shouldn't be cold, but it's really cold. It's like it's crazy work out here. You try not to turn on the heat because you ain't trying to have a high electricity bill. It's crazy work out here. It's diabolical with these electrical companies. Highway robbery. Third Eye said you never had a McRib. Yeah, I don't think I did. I remember it was something I remember like way back when it first came out, and I don't think I was able to get it or however that basically worked. Or maybe I wasn't interested, and then some time later it was a McRib, and I still didn't try it. And then even still now at this point, I don't think not that like I said, not that I can remember. The main thing that I can pull from memory is looking at other people have the McRib, and I probably at the time maybe I might have been Whopper. I might have had like a triple Whopper, because they went to McDonald's. I wanted Burger King, or maybe I might have had like a filet of fish or a double filet of fish, combo and stuff like that. So yeah, yeah. Key Ving, what is up? What is up? We said there's a PC game feature featuring the Chicago neighborhood Bronzeville that came out in 2024 called Time M. That's pretty dope. Sham said, LOL, yeah, it is. Brian Jeffries said, eat your fruits and vegetables, people, keep you sharp, and counterattacks disease, goes down easier in smoothies. Taste too. Yeah, it's true. That's something that I talked about before as well. Fruits and vegetables, smoothies. Like I said, I watch a lot of videos online. I can't even specifically give you a full 1 through 10 or 1 through 50 list, but there's a lot of stuff that I watch where it deals with health, exercise, flexibility, lifting, just like training and cooking and different things of that nature. So I know what you're talking about. Know exactly what you're talking about. D Money said it's not cold down here. Keep that weather up there. D Money said he in Louisiana. The guy from Texas said I had to make rib 10 years ago. Okay, okay. Third Eye said you're about to get hooked on like drugs if he tries it. I mean, that's what people. It's like it's not that crazy. And trust me, I'm a food person. It's not that crazy to me. It's just like when everybody was going. That was the biggest government social experiment, if I could ever say that I saw one live, which was the Popeyes chicken sandwich. Like how crazy people was going over that and going to jail over it and like selling that for like $20 a pop and people were buying it. Yo, it was crazy. There were drugs in that sandwich. I don't know what was in that chicken, but that batch that was the batch that had some crack. It had some cocaine directly in there. Like people were just there, and people were angry when they couldn't get it. It's like it was something in that food. Brian said, if you ever feel tired, try a fresh smoothie instead and feel the energy levels after. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Shout out to Rob, one of the black male role models that I have. When me and my boy Chris, Ricky, and Daniel's son would play basketball. Rob he brought a table, he brought a bag of mixed fruits along with a fruit juice, and he put together like a smoothie. And when I tell you, like we were out there in the hot sun, it was hot. The sun was hot, and just the air itself was hot. Right, we're drinking out the water hose like you would normally see, kids do. We had that smoothie. Let me tell you, my energy came back in probably like less than like 5 minutes. I was all types of refreshed. I'm like, yo, I can do this. I was Captain America. I can do this all day. I'm like, and I think that was really my first time actually having a fruit smoothie. And I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be the main thing. The moment of time I get my money together, I sit up there and get a nice little machine. I'll start making my own little fruit smoothies and trying different things out and whatnot. But yeah, that was good. Like I said, you have fresh fruits in there and everything. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hoko said, I saw your Call of Duty stream. You destroy folks with the shotgun. Oh yeah, we still taking out. we still taking out folks with the shotgun. Let me tell you. This man D Money said the McRib is the Lord's work. But yeah, like yo, Mahoko, I got some other videos. I'm probably gonna you'll end up seeing them for some of the videos that I got later on. I'll probably play those instead of y'all looking like at a still screen or whatnot. But yeah, like I said, primarily shotguns and LMGs are my favorite, and it makes all of the racists go wild. It don't matter if it's their kids or if it's the parents themselves. They all go wild. You'll happen to get some messages. You'll get some people online. Because the craziest thing about it is that there was a what was it? It was a young. I'm not even sure how old she was. I feel like she was a woman, but her voice was just small at the time, or maybe it was a voice changer. But the moment in time that I beat her with the shotgun, she got on the mic and started talking about stuff dealing with like welfare and government assistance. I'm like, oh, you one of those? I'm like, you really mad about that? You mad about that? I'm like, you really tight about that shotgun? Huh? I'm like, yo, that's some crazy work. That's diabolical. I'm like, I ain't never been on welfare. I don't know what that's like. But I've been broke my whole life though. So you got me on that. Broke my whole life. It'd be like that. Still ain't gonna help you when it gets you in the shotgun though. But like I said, I love it. The moment in time I get that type of energy, on any type of shooter from white folks, oh yeah, it's game time. You're gonna see me at my best. I can't wait for you to show up in chat. I cannot wait. Like I said, it's classic. And I done had a variety of white boys pulling up, just uttering slurs directly in there. And I'm like, dog, this is not going to make you any better. And this is not, no God is going to be able to help you when this next round, when this next round starts. It ain't gonna help you. Third Eye said, yeah, that issue was insane. Gail said, I try to forget that part of Black history. Brian Jeffrey said, monosodium, what was it? Glutamate is a exotic toxin and is addictive. It's in Popeyes and a lot of other fast foods and processed foods. I believe it, yeah. They call it MSG. Okay, yeah. The guy from Texas said there must be drugs in that Starbucks bear cup. Yeah, it probably is. As soon as you touch it, start going wild. Tippy said, I fell asleep. What did I miss? This woman here. Look at this. Just falling asleep. Sham said, I'm going to make musu pork tomorrow. It's a Chinese dish they eat with Chinese pancakes. It's really good. See, Sham could literally make a whole thing of cooking on TikTok. I could just already see it, but Sham is too shy. She's not going. She's not going to do it. And then automatically you're gonna have people automatically thinking that Sham is 12. And I'm like, you know what, Sham? You might as well feed directly into that. People hear you and they automatically think you 12. You might as well just walk directly into it. Walk directly into it. Sham, the 12-year-old that can cook. Chefing it up. Might as well do it. Was the Third Eye said, I remember part of Capitol Boulevard here in Raleigh, North Carolina was 70 jammed. Yeah, it was 70 jam because the drive-through line spilled out to the actual traffic. That's crazy. That is crazy. Oh my goodness. Here we go with Gail talking about somebody almost got me. That's diabolical. Third Eye says 70%. I mean, okay, I got you. That guy from Texas up here laughing. Hack said you should report them. No, I do report them. I do sit up there and report them. But again, I got to beat them. It makes no sense to sit up there and just report people and not being able to beat them. You got to solidify the reason that they're going to be racist. You got to give them a reason. Got to give them a reason. Like I said, I love it. 100%. Like I said, I love when the racism is flowing. Shout out to Call of Duty because they can always seemingly bring out, every Call of Duty brings out the true racist. I love it. I love it. It's a little bit of it in Battlefield, but remember, people got to actually text, things out, and that takes time. But when it deals with, Call of Duty, it's different. And then I made sure to turn off the profanity filter so that I could actually see all the stuff that people are typing. Because I was probably actually missing some good racism, some good old classic American racism. I was probably missing that because it was blurred out. Crazy work. Crazy work. Sham said, LOL, it's too many Geppettos out there. When I get on a game, first thing they say to me is, how old are you, little girl? That sounds like a dude trying to get you into like the ice cream truck. How old are you, little girl? Want some candy? I got some more candy in my truck. Got some candy in this trench coat. That's, like I said, it's crazy. Oh my goodness, that's diabolical. Diabolical indeed. D Money said facts. Make sure they have a reason to hate us. That's bars. That's bars. Got to give them a reason every single time. That's again, like I said, that's why I love using the shotgun. People do not like it, even though. Now, I want to note to anybody else that actually plays shooters, has been not a time on Call of Duty. Well, let me rephrase it. Anytime I play Call of Duty, there's always times where I'm getting long range and then outshot by somebody with an SMG, a DMR, assault rifle, or a sniper. Right? All of those can happen. People can sit up there and quick scope you. They got the ADS as quick as possible. But the moment in time you pull a shotgun and you start bodying teams, matter of fact, I think I got to make sure, because I am up here. I'm going to record the match that I had where I was fighting several PC players. Right? It was me. It was basically 1v6 because the rest of my team left because they couldn't handle the deficit. And then I had two randoms that was with me. But realistically, I had the most on my side of the field. It was me versus other PC players. And one of the clowns wanted to say, like, yeah, good game, but you're not that great. I'm like, dog, I literally turned like Ultra Instinct. I kid you not, when I can happen to show y'all that match, Ultra Instinct kicked in for me at the tail end of that match. I was going like left and right, just sitting up there bodying those fools. And you're going to sit there and try to tell me I'm not that great. I was Kobe. I am the team. I was Jordan. I didn't have a Pippen. Like, what are we talking about here? I scored 20, close to 30 by myself. No assist. Like, what are we talking about? Like, it's crazy out here. It's diabolical. It's crazy. But like I said, it's always the PC players, though. Yo, Joyce, what is up? What's up, Joyce? Up here laughing. What is it? Sham said, I should tell you what happened when I joined a PoE guild. Oh yeah, I got to hear about that one. I'm gonna ask you about that when I talk to you on I think probably on Steam. Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me that story. Oh Lord, that's probably why you're not playing Path of Exiles right now. I can already tell. Oh my God, here go Gail talking about under some literal Euro Caucasian hypnosis. Oh my God, this Gail be exaggerating. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. That guy from Texas said I like Medal of Honor. Yeah, that's a classic. That is a classic. Sham said on 7 Days to Die, you can add mods to the guns. I like using the shotgun because of the heavy hits. I put a sniper scope and automatic on it. I was invincible in that game. I mean, you still got that. I mean, I put scopes on a lot of my guns, especially like let's say if we're doing like Battlefield or Call of Duty. If I got slugs on my shotgun, oh yeah, I'm putting a scope on there because if I know that somebody is sniping, I'm about to peek around that corner real quick. Bow, just take him out. Man, let me tell you, it is so satisfying, so satisfying. Conservative said Call of Duty mobile. No, I'm talking about Black Ops 7 console. Shit, I'm talking about LOL. Third said there was a new aimbot device making the rounds on consoles and battle royales. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think you're talking about the Titan. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like I said, like they could curb a lot of this stuff if they start throwing a lot of these companies and the people that make this stuff in prisons. Because people like it's crazy that people will buy. They'll spend $60 to $70 on a game, and in some instances, they'll buy the special editions, which is like $70 to $80. Then on top of you doing that, you're spending money on the cosmetics. On top of doing that, you're paying for cheats. Like this could range anywhere from like 10 to like hundreds of dollars just to sit up there and win in a game that you're not getting anything from. Like that's crazy. Now, of course, you got some of these cheaters that are on YouTube that make money off of that content, or maybe on TikTok, but it's not a lot. You're not going to make a lot because the greater majority of people do not like cheaters in games. This is why I give a shout out to the one of the I guess the co-founders or the leads in Rainbow Six Siege, where he called out. He was directly in front of everybody, and he was like, "Yeah, F cheaters." I'm like, I'm with that guy. I don't even play Rainbow Six anymore, but I'm like, yeah, shout out to that man because we need a lot of other people who run these shooters. We need them to start standing up because, like I said, it's crazy that I got banned and I never cheated. but because people reported me for using a shotgun and bodying them, and they spam reported, I get banned. But yeah, you got actual streamers out here who make money from these shooting companies, and they get banned every single day because they're found to be using cheats or whatnot or whatever. Like I said, it's crazy work out here. It's diabolical. Let me see. Hack said based. Cham said yes, it is. I'm hiding. Hack said I'm had to deal with the ER and WoW and Battlefield. Oh yeah. Yep. Yep. And the crazy part is, like I said, that's how you know it's white boys doing it. Like they'll be the ones the quickest to sit up there and say something, not knowing who is even in the lobby. Right. All of the names can basically appear as whatever. And you'll just hear them basically call each other. I'm like, what? I'm like, y'all some weirdos. Straight weirdos. D-Money said, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Diabolical work. That guy from Texas said, are they still selling the Soulja Boy gaming console, aka Nintendo knockoff? Possibly. I mean, they got a lot of those now, like, which is the funny part. And so it's like Soulja Boy was the first one being a rapper to like do something like that, but those consoles have always existed. But it's crazy that, you know, everybody basically clowns Soulja Boy for doing it. But yeah, you have those emulator consoles out here. Like you got people that got like GameCubes, PlayStations, all of this that are like emulators that run a whole bunch of things. You know, but hey, it's diabolical. It is diabolical. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I ain't trying to keep y'all here for for a good 4 hours or whatnot or whatever. But yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Get those likes directly up. Because in a lot of instances, we sit up and have these live streams, and I'll look at the amount of views, and then I'll look at the likes. I'm like, yes, the math is not math. The math is not mathing at all. What was it? Shem said, I swear it said you'll always find the weirdos and MMOs. Oh yeah, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Yeah, once they hear your voice, Shem, it's over. It's over. You should be working with Chris Hansen. That's you could be working with Chris Hansen making a matter of fact, Shem, that could be an idea. That could be you could formulate a sting operation. And you can find, these guys on Roblox. You can find them on Fortnite and all these other places. You can very easily find these dudes. I'm telling you, it is money directly in that. What was it? D Money said SEIJIHITO is being anti-black. Here we go. This woman Tibby talking about he probably got her number. That's wild. That is diabolic. I swear to goodness. These be your own people. It be your own people, I tell you. But yeah, much love, respect, and appreciation. Thank y'all for being here and taking part in the conversation and the live stream. I'm actually pretty happy that this actually worked out, because the previous live stream, it didn't work out that well. And for anybody who did not see the original video, the original video is in one of the live streams. It's not in its full totality because we had to blur stuff, but even with blurring, it still didn't, it didn't matter. But we have a portion of that video in another short form content on, this platform, on this channel. That one is titled Black Students Attack a Mother and Two Kids. So you can look at that and, listen to that commentary if you would like to. And again, any of the videos that were talked about or referenced directly in this live stream, we will have those in either in one video or multiple, shorter form, videos directly out there. So I was gonna say, let me know what y'all think about this live stream in the comment section below. But we've been on live stream. Yeah, I'm hungry right now. But yeah, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video. Peace out.